100 Thieves, they're one of the favorites in the tournament, going up against Turkey's last and only hope. And guys, it's single elimination, and at this point, both teams, they don't want to go home, but I can't help but feel like the pressure is all over on the side of 100 Thieves.
I think it absolutely is. This is their game to lose. You are favored in this matchup. I think a lot of people were already disappointed by their performance versus EDG. And Foot, they came out, had a fantastic debut, impressed a lot of people. I don't think they had any expectations heading into this tournament. So I think they're chilling right now. Anything they can do, any fight they can put up, even winning an upset here would be fantastic for them and for Turkey as a whole.
Exactly, and that's something I was going to chime in on when we were having that IGL discussion, is that, as you said, Mimi, Mr. Fallen, the rest of Foot right now playing on that house money. They don't really have too much to lose from here on out. They've already broken through. They've gotten to that second round. Now they're trying to win out. This could be a moment for Mr. Fallen to start throwing in some wild strats to try to catch 100 Thieves off guard and put them on the back foot. We'll have to just wait and see what happens.
Well, the map vetoes are here. Both teams have played already, so I'm interested to see, Mimi, if they do go back to some of the maps we've seen. Yeah,
the bans stay as we pretty much expected. 100 Thieves have been permanent ascent. Foot is very much often getting rid of that fracture, which is a strong map for 100 Thieves. But Footballists will select into the Lotus. We saw this from them the other day. I really liked what we saw on that map. 100 Thieves, though, I'm interested in what they've been cooking up there.
Curious to see what the response is going to be from them. Icebox is still in the pool, but no, it's going to be Haven actually selected by 100 Thieves versus EDG. We saw Icebox, Lotus, and Pearl. The Lotus was a little bit weaker from them. They really suffered on that defending side, whereas Footballs looked incredible versus RQ, so I'm unsurprised to see the Lotus. And Foot decided to take away the Pearl, where we saw 100 Thieves be able to best EDG in that OT.
Yeah, this Haven match will be a rematch from the last bout between these two teams at Red Bull. Last time 100 Thieves took it 13-10. Love to see if history repeats itself as we land on Icebox as the final map. We saw that one from 100 Thieves yesterday. Bren was talking about that Omen composition. I loved what we saw from 100 Thieves there.
I think the map pool is really, really exciting. Obviously, as you said, we understand why Pearl want to go there. They look so good. 100 Thieves, they definitely had weaknesses, but I want to talk about the different philosophies we've seen on Lotus, because both teams had such different ideas. The comps were completely different.
Yeah, I think for the side of 100 Thieves, they had something very different than anyone else has brought out. They were playing into that fade raise, they had a Cypher in the mix. No one else has really followed that same path, and Footballs as well, unique with that Neon Sage composition.
Yeah, it was so fast and in your face RQ, they just kept getting overwhelmed by it. For me though, looking at the way that this map draft played out, so here in the Prime Gaming Agent Select, I really am concerned for Footballs if they can't win on Lotus. I feel like they need to be able to lock down this first map to keep themselves in the series.
Yeah, things I'm interested here. What I'm looking for is Kiwi. On the defensive side, he was opping, he was a part of Gambits, he was doing it all. 100 Thieves need to shut him down, and when we switch sides, it's the same thing, because he can get faster than those fade raid combinations and be able to get tons of space for Footballists.
Well, all that left to do is to throw this over to your casters. It is Sideshow standing by with a human chessboard, Bren.
Frankie, yeah, hopefully the only games being played, though, is going to be Valorant today in this particular series as well. Foot versus 100 Thieves, and this is a real David versus Goliath situation. You got Foot as well showing some great form, I think, coming into this series. Not really tested as much, but 100 Thieves certainly have been. These guys have just come out of a really scrappy affair versus Edward Gaming and only just barely squeaking through.
I know, insane. Managing to fend off a couple of match points there that Edward Gaming had. And I saw the players tweeting afterwards saying, this was one of the hardest games I've ever played. The opener against EDG. I think a lot of people were looking at 100 Thieves bracket and expecting them to be heavy favorites in these first two games. And I think they're still a heavy favorite in this one, but it's a great map to start things out from Footballist. I completely agree with this pick.
The desk was talking about it. Real must-win situation here for Foot. Heading into Lotus. 100 Thieves. Just going to be exploring a bit of B there.
Okay, but already, I was doing some VOD review of Footballist on this map, and even though they won 13-3, on A, if they throw that KO knife, they are always playing passive on the A side. And look how much 100 Thieves are abusing that.
They've just read it immediately, haven't they?
Cracks throws the A knife, and 100 Thieves know there's going to be no resistance here. I think they've got exactly the read on what this defense looks like.
The rotating door is going to signal this one all down to Moj, see what he can do. Not too much pressure just yet, just abiding, waiting his time out, but okay, now it's down to Captain. Not too much as well. 100 Thieves really just swarming every single avenue available to them onto this site. Smoke's going to be fading away there. Asuna quite low. Let's see if he can follow up with anything else. But right now, 100 Thieves not struggling too hard on the pistol round. flash just to try and evacuate and get back out of there, play with the rest of his team. Quick dash through now, all down to 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒. With the most to do, only down to 10 health, so really difficult task, and that's going to be the pistol round secured.
Footballist, they did win that opening game against RRQ on Lotus, 13-3, and they didn't have to show their attack side. So that's one of the reasons why I think this is going to be a great pick, because they should have a bit of an advantage once we head into the next half. But their defense side was won by being better on an individual level. I don't believe that it was won by having extremely good Lotus defense strategies. So we get to see here the battle between the IGLs and the battle of the preparation. Have 100 Thieves got what it takes to crack this open and set off to a nice half?
That's going to be a big test, that player quality difference.
So there's the knife again, this KO knife that's landing towards A. And what that means is that they're not going for a heavy, aggressive A setup. They're just doing it to grab a bit of information. Now, sometimes, later into the half, 𝐒𝐒𝐄 is going to be opping behind that knife. But most of the time, Stella's going to read that as just a free entrance into A.
It's a tepid approach from 100 Thieves, just making sure they don't give away too many advantages, obviously, against the eco. Shorty in the hands of 𝐒𝐒𝐄 up close.
Just exploring the whole of the map.
Yeah.
You can see how Stella's taken a bit of information over towards A. He was using his cam really well on their attack side in the game against EDG just to take space. And 100 Thieves are really happy to explore the map here. This to me looks like they're trying to draw attention, but
my word.
Also getting a pick out of nowhere.
Yeah, quite fortunate for Bang, really. Paranoia was ripped across, and it did push them back for but a moment, but look at all this space that's just being gained. Stella quite aware of this now as well. He's managed to lurk his way into that forward position.
His lurks are so good on this map. And that's part of why they're playing the Cypher. It just has that informational tool to work around and can use the rest of his team to give him excellent timings. And Stella's just been so good in the last few months. These two teams played an off-season game, and you know that's the kind of time where Stella was really coming alive. And this tournament too, he's just been spectacular.
Yeah, putting up some insane numbers, considering the role, considering what he's been having to do, all while calling. But Foot, you can see there's not much of an approach from them, looking to just really just play, I think, going down to the spikes, making sure that they deny any ult orbs potentially to 100 Thieves.
Yeah. And round 3 is going to be the important one here for Footballist, but they're not even taking a single weapon out of the hands of 100 Thieves, so this is going to be an extremely good bonus round for the Americas squad. And I'm wondering here, because Footballist have demonstrated 2 defensive looks, generally speaking, towards A. I guess 3 if you include the operator, but one of them is going to be 𝐒𝐿, the Killjoy, holding A, and they throw that deep knife. And the other one is where they try and play really aggressive for A rubble control, and that's 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒's job. And I think that's what they're going to throw out here, and that, again, is going to ask another question of 100 Thieves. Have you got what it takes to deal with this? Because we actually saw this fail quite a lot when Footballist played against RRQ. So 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒's going to wall, he's going to stun back rubble, and they're going to try and take control of it. But RRQ just threw out a single stun, and it all fell to pieces. The 2 or 3 rounds where they tried this, Footballist did not get very much success. So let's see this big clash over at A rubble.
Yeah. A lot of players going to be meeting them, but actually very passive and patient play by 100 Thieves, not willing to just work their way past that choke point. And when they see all this util coming their way as well, they know exactly what's happening here. It's a hard committal by many of the players like you were talking about, Josh. 100 Thieves the kind of team where they are going to be doing their homework.
Yeah, but I'm not a huge fan of what they're doing now, because Footballist are going to get the read that this is going to see.
And there's a fight being taken. Mr. Fowl in a wider swing. It only comes out with 1 before being traded. The players are swarming the site. You can see Foot just surrounding for the time being, and Spike's still not getting down into a position here. 100 Thieves making sure that they can clear most of the site before they get into a position. They can try and plan, and there you go. Great discipline from Bang. Making sure that they hold a lot of these avenues, but still, the one approach isn't really being smoked off just yet, and now you can see it. 𝐒𝐿 just comes through. Whoa! 3 kills, and it's down to Derek. 1v1 situation. It just can't quite land the shots. Massive performance by 𝐒𝐿.
What a hero, exactly when his team needed it. The first kill is perfect too. When you're facing against a team that's excellent at trading, you have to expose the tiniest part of your body. And look, you can just see him there, just barely taking the smallest peaks, not going for the classic Turkish wide swing, because that would open himself up to a trade. Played that one beautifully and won every 1v1. Now, in terms of the macro game too, though, 100 Thieves look like they're just giving a rubble to Futbolist. And I don't like that. That means that 100 Thieves and Stellar are going to have way less of the map to work with. You've got to challenge this at some point. Of course, it was still a decent bonus, so Futbolists have the economic disadvantage. But look again, I think they're just going to get the whole of rubble for free here.
100 Thieves setting their sights on a different section, though. You can see that. Again, Haunt, a bit of a flash as well, sets them up on these angles quite nicely, farming up the orbs as well. So Asuna has that null command now in his back pocket.
This wall from Adacaptain is fantastic too, because it just blocks off re-entry. How is Stellar supposed to lurk past that? And it also gives them a timing. They know that 100 Thieves can't be going back into A without that wall going down. I do like this from 100 Thieves though. You've got to break it because that creates a little bit of pressure. It means the Futbolists have to at least jiggle peek it instead of just leaving the wall there and rotating away.
Yeah, there was a knife used as well just towards the backside of it, so they know that nobody's lurking on the other side of rubble.
And this is interesting, right? They're creating presence there, but not actually backing it up with any people. They're hoping that Futbolists rotate a couple over to A to plug the gap, and now they'll get an easier hit. This is all going to come down to Mr. Fallen.
Again, has to be the difference maker as the anchoring player, but how can he survive this? All that util being dumped into the back of the site. He's locking him into place, locking him into position to decay. Still kicking him, but he's still waiting. Tries to take the swing, but the weapon just not good enough. 100 Thieves, for all their trouble, is going to be claiming 2, making sure that the angles are watched for. 𝐒𝐒, that's quite nice. 2 instant responses. The stun's still being found, and it's a little bit awkward there, a little bit strained still with the ult ripped out into his hands and time running so low. Had no idea that Krax was lurking on his position, and again, immaculate placement with the crosshair. The red ball clutch is going to be claimed, and Foot making it a really difficult task indeed.
This match is set up to be awesome because there's no denying it. Futbolists are massive. They played in the off-season too, and went down 0-2 against this 100 Thieves team. But what they demonstrated in the off-season and what they're demonstrating here as well is that the Futbolist players, when they find a gap, can just rip everything open. Yeah. The quality is there. From Moj, from 𝐒𝐒, and a bit of a mistake in that round as well from Bang swinging into the stun that was thrown by a Neon. Knocks 100 Thieves down into an eco.
So we'll see if Foot can stabilize. Obviously, still using a couple of Spectres just from that prior round, but looking to hopefully build up the bank with this one round. But massive investment there with Cry actually utilizing that showstopper just to try and get into the site. Space was given to him. No challenge there from Foot. A bit of a tap at a spike as well, just seeing if they can get anything else. And they do.
This is going to A.
Yeah, the lockdown gets used as a response to this one, but the door's broken, and Stellar was lurking this entire time up towards A. So, getting a bit of that space, but there we go.
I think that's the second kill that 𝐒𝐒's got through smokes in this round.
Yeah, pretty precise spray down. Inflicted in 1 kill for them. They have had to give up the A site, but the spike is really delayed. They're only just trying to get this onto the site now, and it looks like Foot are not wasting any time. Already taking the back of the site in the pit.
Stingers are so dangerous here, though.
Waiting for this util, maybe to just try and pave the way for them forwards, and there you have it. Collapsing, converging, however you want to call it. Easy cleanup for Foot.
Very well done there. Nice position from Adacaptain as well. That creates a crossfire on anybody that might be trying to get aggressive in the post plan. And also just good awareness from 𝐒𝐒 of the timings of when to span through these smokes. Well, I guess that one's not even quite through a smoke. He's actually spotted the player right as it blooms, but I think one of the big advantages of playing Neon on this map is that 𝐒𝐒 should just be able to be ahead of the attackers no matter what. Yeah. He's so fast rotating around the map. And it looks like, again, Futbolists are going to try and control A rubble. So they're throwing the wall, they're throwing the stun. That means if anybody tries to get across the rubble, they're going to be stunned up and they're going to have a Neon pressuring them immediately. And 100 Thieves don't really have the best comp to try and deal with this. You know, they can't counter-stun 𝐒𝐒. They don't have an Omen to teleport over and contest. They've just got to return back to A later on in the round.
And all that space that's been given up, you can see it's immediately vacuumed by the 2 players at Foot this time holding quite close.
And
again,
I like
same
this,
Sage Wall.
But it's delayed as well. He waits until 120 to put it through. Oh my word, that little angle.
Stellar attempts to punish that by just breaking a portion of it, but he almost had his head ripped off in response. While all that was happening as well, Asuna did fall. Not sure if that was a kill through the smoke or what, but body left behind now. It's 100 Thieves left in a 4v5.
And if Futbolists can win on this side, on this half, this might just be a dominant map.
That sets them up quite nicely. Cosmic Divide is going to be splitting up the site, though. Whole cacophony of utility just being used to try and at least get their way into it. And FUT aren't shy, still not shying away from the fight. You can see holding through, waiting for the right time, possibly for the wall to go down now as well. Great C's just making sure to delay them so they can't quite push through that one. But now the stuns are coming through. Let's see how this fight gets taken. At the back of the site, this fight's going to be critical. Already so many shots. Just going away, and 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 again comes up with the goods. 2 kills for him. It's a dangerous game that 100 Thieves are playing right now, just trying to wait it out, spray down the transfer. The kills are going their way, and no one's really been sticking this defuse. Down to that 1v1, Stella just jiggles, knows that nobody's on this spike, but the smoke is going to be obfuscating it, but a tap at a rifle. And it's a strained round, really pushing 100 Thieves to his limits, but a round nevertheless, making it an even scoreline.
You see the advantage there of 100 Thieves being able to get the post plant that's just out in the open. That plant position is amazing. And if you're forced to plant safe, there's no way 100 Thieves are winning that round. Despite the heroics coming out from 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒, who's 10-4 right now, 100 Thieves steal one back. And that provides a buffer for their economy. All right, where's the op playing? So sometimes they'll be throwing this knife, and 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 will be opping behind it. This time, though, knife is going to go down towards A main, and 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 is on C. Does Bang read it? No, he doesn't. Jiggle peeks in, and once more, 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 hitting every shot.
Yeah. When we talk about teams like FUT, Turkish region as well, just talent in spades on an individual basis. They've got that confidence.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything to lose. In a game like this, when you know you're the underdogs, you just have to bring it all. There's no pressure.
Yeah. That can help them out. Just talking some behind the scenes as well, just getting the opinions of various players and coaches as well. And they did say, don't underestimate FUT coming into this match. Because if they play like they do in scrims,
yeah,
you never know when suddenly, the fundamentals just make it an easy victory for them on some cases.
Yeah, that's the thing. When these Turkish teams play with confidence and when they're hitting shots, it can be so difficult to deal with them.
Horn to try and cross there. Shot just going wide. A wall right in the face of Stella. And he is leading the charge for his team. There's a nade as well, just past that cage, making sure that there's space there. Refight.
Stella again.
It is Stella. This guy's coming up with kill after kill, but it's a pivot play. They break the door, now going to be making their way now over towards B. The Neural Theft revealing a couple of the positions there as well of that one kill that they did manage to claim, and it's a very fast plan.
It's going to allow a res, though, onto this player, too, so it should be a 5v4 retake. The question is, can Derek and 𝐒𝐿 make the play?
Yeah, trying to go for the double swing here. There was a res while all this was happening, but the extra layer in this play is Stella just holding that one flank still. It's a hard retake. Everybody from heaven, all 4 players of FUT gliding through. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 just trying to take the fight to Asuna, but steady aim with the rifle. 2 kills get claimed. Already 2. Have on the defuse, getting a bit dangerous, but okay. Safe hands for 𝐒𝐿. Eventually wraps around, does find a shot.
Stella wins them that round, though, too. The kill onto Mr. Fallen. IGL versus IGL. But the fragging coming out from Stella has just been amazing in this tournament. And to find them that pick that allows them to then pivot through B is massive. Asuna, too, getting 2 while pressured here is likewise amazing, especially considering the pinch that was coming around. Yeah, huge plays from 100 Thieves. Those are the kind of moments that they need. You can't allow all of the big clutch momentum to go in the favor of Futbolist. That's one of the things that lost this map for 100 Thieves against EDG. They just couldn't stop moments of magic from Jishu and Haodong.
Knocked down to the half by for FUT. Stella. Oh, that angle and the peak!
The triple face!
And yet, moments of brilliance from FUT. It's what makes them a dangerous team. Just trying to claim the gun, backs away. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 does get out with his life, and a nice monetary upgrade in the form of that rifle. And already swarming this site, though. It's a fast reaction from 100 Thieves. And this time, it looks like they are trying to fight as well towards the back of the site. Smoke, it was a recall as well, pulled back all the way, and the Sheriff's just not quite good enough. As I say that, though, matching them pound for pound, and nade is really, really fantastic. Taking a lot of damage. Paranoia, though, that's going to be setting them up. The satchels! Oh my goodness, and this is getting so damn messy!
50.
They're giving me flashbacks to Vitality of yesterday, Brent. where the player quality is so dangerous, and the eco rounds feel like Futbolista maybe even favored.
Yeah.
100 Thieves playing with the fear of God in them as they swing these corners.
And his shots were just magnificent. Look at that.
But also, I mean, even Derek's final kill there, I feel like if he's against a rifle, he takes his time, he's a little cleaner, but just relying on the spray and spraying and crouching. It's a really messy round that lends itself perfectly into the strengths of Futbolist.
It was quite forced in that moment.
But I mean, he's watched everybody else die around it.
Yeah.
And 4-4 the score. 100 Thieves' economy has been getting squeezed in this game. Losing a Thrifty doesn't help. Asuna fans?
Yeah, apparently. Does
Playing
he count for 100 weebs?
What, sorry?
Asuna. Does he equal to 100 weebs?
Well, I'm not sure. He's just one, isn't he?
Just one man. Yeah.
He's only one man. What can one man do? So a timeout here called. 100 Thieves with an opportunity to consult with the coach Mikes about what they should do in this round, because I think it's not clear whether you should go for a force buy or not. They have big ults to work with. They could make it work, but if they don't, it's probably the half. You know, you're looking down the wrong end of 7-5 or 8-4 if you lose this.
Yeah, not the best of halves. So it is that full investment from 100 Thieves and a bit of a gamble for them. Foot with their setup.
So here comes this long-range knife. You see all the way back from cracks.
It does feel like 100 Thieves have been doing their homework. They recognized, at least in the past, it means that there's a bit more of a passive hold, as it is just Moj holding down onto the back of A, anchoring.
And I think you get the read from the Sage wall anyway, right?
Yeah.
You see that Ada Captain's walled off B, so I think breaking the B wall and then pivoting back to A is going to be a pretty decent game plan. Futbolist not really reading the gap in their defense, as they have 3 players stacked on C, while Bang goes and pokes and prods, seeing whether this, maybe one time they fake it.
What option do they want to take here? Stella is still containing as well through that C choke point, making sure that none of the defenders end up trying to press the advantage that they have. A risky moment here, down to about 50 seconds in the round, and whatever call gets made, it looks like the spike is leaning towards that A site.
I'm really surprised that Futbolist aren't trying to move somebody over his way. They're just planning to play a full retake setup here.
Yeah. Knifeful to try and fake some presence towards B, I believe, latching onto one of the targets, which was Ada Captain. He's not going to be able to hear those sound cues, and that's going to set them up. Oh my goodness, showstopper into the turret. What did they do to deserve that? But a full retake setup being played by Foot, just backing away, making sure they don't give away too many easy kills. They know that they have that weapon advantage, the rifle advantage, and it's going to be down to Stellar, honestly. He's taking an incredibly late flank this entire time, the backup plan for them, but timing is going to be so important, especially if Foot decide to take this with some speed and pace. Finally starting to get injected. Fight's being taken, bit of rifle spam. Sounded quite messy off to the side, but it was a kill claimed. Now that flash to re-clear, Cryo dodging, weaving, ducking in a double face up, fully blinded up still. Derek, how does he claim that one? And they do eventually shut down the retake.
Watching this game so far, it feels like aim versus brain. It feels like Futbolists are just able to win no matter what their decision making in some of these rounds, because the player talent is absurd. And for 100 Thieves to be able to win these situations, they need to be working the map, pulling the rotates, identifying gaps in the defense, getting into good post-plant setups, supporting each other well. Like, all of the fundamental stuff is still being done really well for 100 Thieves. And they're only 5-4 up despite getting pistol and follow-up, because Foot are that dangerous. Here they have Sheriffs in their hand again, Mr. Fallen with the Guardian. I'm not counting them out whatsoever.
You got to respect it, that prowess that they've been showcasing. Really precise aim, and this is a contact push from Foot. 3 of the players deep down C, and here that presence towards B. Looks like they want to try and take the fight, but contained in good time. The door's rotating around, and at those kind of angles, you're going to need a miracle to try and find a kill or two. Moj looks like he wants to try and take some risks.
Yeah, really safe stuff. Very nicely done by 100 Thieves on the contain. Even if those 3 players had decided not to open the door, but had instead pushed into spawn, Stellar and Bang were ready and waiting.
The side's going to be given up. Should be a free plant. Not too much risk of this going wrong. We've seen some miraculous stuff. Okay, well, Mr. Fallen almost getting away with one there. But the two players, the remaining players, have put their falling, so Prime Gaming flawless, keeping the money going strong now for 100 Thieves. Starting to build themselves up to a nice sizable lead. Means Stellar as well will be able to get a bit of a weapon upgrade as well, finally getting rid of that Stinger.
Kiwi goes back to the op. But just taking a look at kind of the round in a replay, that 100 Thieves, that is how you deal with an eco round. Super ready for a push coming through. All of the players supporting each other and really precise. That's what you expect them to look like. Kiwi opping. Over on C again. Hasn't decided to op on A this entire time.
In fact, it's leaving B completely open.
But this time, they are actually following that KO knife over at A.
This is a dangerous moment, Stella. Waiting right into the sightlines of Kiwi.
Will they expect Mr. Fallen to be here? Every other time, this KO knife has meant there's nobody on A, we're holding passive.
They've been clearing this sometimes with a KO knife to the back of the ruins, but Mr. Fallen could be just that extra thorn in their sides. He tries to take a fight. Maybe around the time of the haunt, he knew he was going to be revealed. Even the Nightfall, making sure nobody's just hiding behind these boxes. Okay, spam down the wall, why not? Even isolating that fight as well. The captain just feels like he maybe has to take a risk there. Fighting that one, and what a flick from Cryo, the readjustment. Crosshair placement wasn't the cleanest in the world, you gotta be kidding me.
Nice shot.
Double satchel plays. The C's latching on. Here we in a bit of trouble, obviously cutting off all the sound cues, but there's that 2v3, retaking with the operator. Never advisable. Foot might just opt into saving this round, playing it really safe. Or not. Still looking like they actually want to fight this one. A flash ready in the hands of Asuna though. Bit of a pre-fire. They see the stars down. Now the wall blocks off that sightline. Pop flash play pushing through. Fully blinded up, but the spam. Blessed by God, in that moment it feels like still the stun finds one. With the rifle upgrade still, a slide off angle. Asuna is favored.
I don't think that was even spam. Bang was holding anti-flash, ready for the play to be made.
I see.
And I think you just get another
I think
glimpse
they
into
has to save the op
the
save
thought
करने
process of
वाला
100
होता
Thieves and how good those fundamentals are.
और तो fight है गालो
Yeah,
गालो
and also the diligence there to
2v3
clear this
chilo.
out. They've been
Bad
getting the A side of the
position.
map for free a lot of the time, and they're still super diligent about clearing out Mr. Fallen in that position. Round 9 really was the pivotal turning point. If 100 Thieves have lost that, we would be seeing a very different half. But after they managed to cement their victory there, they're running away with this.
So this next one's going to be an important one for Foot. That same pressure being applied towards A main. You can see the knife as well, forward position by Kiwi. But nothing out of the usual for 100 Thieves. They've been playing most of these attack rounds very slowly.
Yep. The only unusual thing is that Bang was using an attacking operator, but you know, having not seen anything, he now just swaps back over to the Phantom and chucks it over the edge, I believe.
Just taking up this space towards C. Two players holding it down. They're going to have to be the difference maker.
Cryo double blast pack play, perhaps?
Yeah, all being picked up. There's a Haunt online, just contacting.
Wow.
Right into the sight lines, right into the sight lines. A Morgan, the swing is good, but just can't quite find the kill. Fragment nade also a little bit delayed. Unable to really push past that onslaught of the 100 Thieves players, making sure that they take the entirety of the site. Even that plan going down. Asuna is low. There's a Paranoia, wasn't really linked up with anything else. Making sure that they clear all of this. The knife, though, moving the ult away from Kiwi. This is going to be difficult. There is a res online. And the captain could try and bring somebody back right behind the wall there. What do they want to opt for? Pushing forwards.
But it's still that incredibly good post-plant position.
Yeah, and how do you disrupt this? There's no one on the flank. Lockdown's going to be used. This is going to be gaining a bit of space for them, but time is starting to run low. What a shot, Kiwi.
The lockdown might do it.
Massive still, overplays his hands now to showstopper. It's giving him that kill. Fires the rocket, but it goes just directly wide. And now the captain pushing forwards. Tap into the spike, but the lockdown, okay, defusing half of it. It's down to Bang. Stunned up, spray down. Has to buy this time. Mr. Fallen's done it. Absolutely majestic gameplay. Despite the heroics of Bang, just unable to pull it through for them. And so Foot, they gain themselves a respectable half.
It certainly is respectable. 5'7" footballists. They showcased their ability to hit some absurd shots, and also what a great lockdown towards the end there to push everybody back and disrupt that post plan. Futbolist also have not showcased their attacking side very much because they destroyed RRQ on this map. So 100 Thieves are now going blind into the second half.
Yeah, so an interesting Lotus awaiting us as well into that second half. But before all that, the desk is going to be breaking down what we've seen so far.
Thank you very much, guys. A 7-5 half, but my God, Mimi, that was scrappy.
Yeah, it really was. And I think that was kind of the defining moment at the half. Josh was talking about the fact that there was a lot of really readable plays for Futbolists, and they leaned into that again. They played very, very similarly, and 100 Thieves had an excellent read on it. The thing is, those rounds started to get very scrappy at the end, and I wanted to look back at one of them where Foot was actually able to get away with winning one of these eco rounds. It starts off with 100 Thieves having a good call. They realize that with that KO knife, without seeing that Sage Roll, they're expecting a walk-up. Stellar holds for it, and he gets kind of owned initially, but the reaction is good. Give it back to C for 100 Thieves, and they want to push space in the post flank because they're worried about a multi-flank from seeing all those players on the A site. That's the right call. The thing is that Foot just has such insane individual level that they're still able to win out those rounds against a team that's normally so good at trading.
Yeah, I mean, Josh has been talking about it. The individual skill level on all of these players cannot be underestimated, and pushing them like that, even though you have that weapon advantage, you feel confident you can get shut down, and they did. One of the things to look forward to, though, Josh is also kind of teeing this up right at the end. We have not seen very much of Futbolist on attack. Kiwi, he's getting ready to be unleashed on this Neon, and I cannot wait to see what he's going to be able to do, because versus RRQ, we only got to see 4 attacking rounds from them.
And the thing is that 100 Thieves also really struggled in their game versus EDG on this map, on their defensive side. And playing against this Neon, I think it might be able to counter out some of what 100 Thieves' game plan is with this Season 8. They did have good preparation in the first half, though, so I would expect the same from 100 Thieves here, but you can never count Foot out.
Yeah, it was a 7-5 half there for 100 Thieves leading in that series. They only were able to pick up 2 rounds versus EDG, so we need to see a stronger defense from them.
We do indeed. Far is they're definitely not out. This is a great score for them to head into the second half. Back to you guys, 𝐒𝐿𝐄 and Bren.
So just before we get into the action, we, listen, beautiful day for attack pauses, isn't it, Josh?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love them.
Lovely weather outside.
It does give us an opportunity, though, to talk about how important this upcoming half is. Because Futbolists have got to win this map, man. If they want a chance at getting the upset, it's not happening on Haven and Icebox. I just don't see a world where that's the route to victory here. It's got to be on Lotus, the map where they won, the map where 100 Thieves lost, the map where 100 Thieves don't know what's coming at them in the second half. I think if Futbolists are going to deliver an upset result, it's got to happen right here.
Starts here.
And that means the pistol is crazy important. And then following on from that, the Des talked about it a little bit, but getting crazy value out of the Neon, maybe some Sage Wall boosts, stuff that we've seen from, you know, Paper X and other teams like that in the tournament so far.
Yeah.
I want to see something interesting, something creative, and some moments of magic.
Well, it is that narrow lead for 100 Thieves, but as the desk has mentioned, as we've mentioned, it's uncharted territory for them. If they're looking to try and counter-strat, obviously the map pick being Foot's, 100 Thieves got to choose their favored side at the beginning. Initially, it's the way it works, and
yeah,
maybe they had an idea in mind as well of what they wanted to do to disrupt, but who knows how happy they are with those 7 rounds.
Yeah, and just to kind of talk a bit about when these two teams clashed in the offseason, Futbolist post plants were really good. You saw the stat there, 89%, but that's only against RRQ. There's a massive difference in our expectations, in what the players have done in the past, in what the orgs and the team have done in the past between 100 Thieves and RRQ. So I think Futbolists are going to be pressed in the post plants, and it's important, though, that 100 Thieves actually apply a ton of pressure. When you look at what they've got to try and close up these choke points and play aggressive against them, they have nade from Asna and from Cryo. They got pulls, they got seizes, they got all sorts of denial on the plant and denial on getting through the choke points. I think Futbolists should not be allowed to get into those comfortable post-plant systems. But here we go, into the pistol round, and this one might mean everything for Futbolists.
Might mean everything, and Josh, you said they shouldn't be allowed to get into those comfortable post-plant situations, but sometimes Foot will just barrel forwards. They'll take names and take a scalp as well. Cryo immediately going to be the first casualty.
He had no idea that Kiwi was going to be running at him with that kind of pace. I think he got killed with Boombot in his hand.
So an unfortunate error there. But Foot, of course, fast to play this one, and look at where 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 is. I mean, he has just looked all the way through the connector.
I don't think
Give him
Asuna
a bit
knows
of
he's
this
there.
space, over the top though, trying to find the shots, bang. Rare whip from him, a bit of beef being served up, rotating around Asuna, over to at least even the score line, even the fight that's being taken, but now left down to just Derek in that 1v4. Finds the first one. He is going to try and make it happen, but would have been good at not allowing any of those isolated one-on-one fights. Anticipating that, a little bit of a peek as well, trying to take this fight. He doesn't know where they are. There's a crossfire, an almost impossible task, and indeed it is. Finalized the pistol round for Foot. Fantastic beginning.
And we said it's a must-win pistol round, and they must be able to get value out of the Neon.
Come on.
And 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 got so
Hello?
much value. Catching Cry.
উঠবে না
𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 had gotten that deep.
তো কথা
This
বলার
Neon has got to be a win condition for Foot. And 100 Thieves got to keep better track of him.
𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 currently sitting at 17 kills. He's been the difference maker.
He certainly has.
Starting off on the right foot as well. But now 100 Thieves knocked down to that eco round.
It should be an easy one here for Footballist. I mean, you look at the map, the way that 100 Thieves are grouped up doesn't seem to be pressuring anybody. Footballist, though, off the back of the turret being killed, and they could hear a lot of pistols, but they chose not to aggressively push into C. So they've actually offered an opportunity for 100 Thieves clumped up Death Ball to challenge them.
Yeah, and they're going to be matching them with the pistol. Still, stun rattles through. The rifle in the hands of 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒. Absolute weapon of death.
Give him a Spectre and let him run at people. All right, fair enough. The Vandal still was saved. Same kind of thing.
Derek's doing some serious damage here with that pistol. Frenzy, making the most of it. Two players knocked down to very low health, and, well, Asuna, last man standing. Spots the one, not going to be given an easy angle to fight over.
But this is going to be massive for the bonus round.
Yeah, beautiful.
Only losing 2 players and keeping 2 rifles and a Bulldog into the round. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 has his ultimate to work with. This is going to already put a lot of pressure on 100 Thieves so early.
And one of the strengths as well that we were talking about with 100 Thieves setting it up. Even I was talking about it in the pre-show as well with the Telestrator, but the pure fundamentals from 100 Thieves, being able to take those fights, the player quality, being a bit of a difference maker, but also having each other's backs. A team like Foot, they really do test that. Yeah, they push you to your limits. They make sure that, listen, they're going to be winning the first fight, then the next one, then the next one. That's what you can come to expect of a team like this, and it's been demonstrated over and over again in these rounds.
I mean, at the moment, 100 Thieves just need to shut down 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒.
Yeah, he's running away with it.
He's got 20 kills in 14 rounds. It's absurd. I mean, some of them were farmed there on the eco players, but even before that, he was dominating.
And just a little bit of presence being shown. There was a haunt to re-clear through sand on the seaside of the map there for 100 Thieves. So they've got to be aware that somebody could have been late lurking, I suppose, but right now it's all Foot taking all that space towards ruins on A.
There's a couple of trips here. The first one for information, and the second one looks like a kill trip. So we'll see whether 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 runs into that.
All popped off, waits it out. Knows there's one trip waiting, but okay. Asuna didn't have any visual cues or indicators other than the trip being broken, and now Stella down to him to hold down that line of sight angle. A bit of ADS fire, one after the other, but Foot do claim their space, and they're going to be able to get that spike down, this wall, causing problems. Asuna has to be careful just in case somebody was holding out on top of it. Now those fundamentals, that scaling, being able to trade each other out. That's what's really going to be pushed once more for 100 Thieves. How do they get into this one? Smoke pushes it back. Mr. Fallen already claims one, though. Behind the box, a wider swing, and oh my goodness! One after the other. And they all crumble and all fall beneath Foot.
Foot with another post plant that they're allowed to get into and get comfortable at. And the positioning is nice. I think the real key for 100 Thieves is to play more flood retakes. And what I mean by that is, as Footballists are going for the plant, before they get into position, that's when you've got to instigate the retake. Because when you allow Footballists to set up where they can play off each other, then they look scary good. I think one of the weaknesses of Footballists is they're not able to construct that on the fly very quickly. But if you give them 5-10 seconds to set up, then they look nasty. Futbolists have had a great opening to this half, and another one there as well. Being able to win the pistol, the bonus round, despite 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 going down, showing that he's not just carrying the team. I said this was a map that they had to win, and so far, so good for Foot.
Yeah, looking like a very solid beginning. Moments away from potentially that 9th round being claimed as well. It's a free site for them. Again, going to go through the layers of it, making sure that they use the util, clear the side out. Don't want to be caught unaware by any players lurking towards it. 100 Thieves are grouping up now towards the A site. Harder one though with the weapons that they've got in their hands. Unless they give something away. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 still looking to take the fights. That kind of confidence, man. I mean, he's just got it over and over again. Willing to take the fights even at the risk of potentially falling, but no, easy as it's done.
Prime gaming flawless, isn't it? This next one is another pivotal round. I talked previously about round 9 and how important that was for the ult economy and the swing for the rest of the half. I think you've seen another one right here.
Yeah, the same applies. Yeah, absolutely.
Round 17, going into it, 100 Thieves have got to win this one. They're a few away from some massive ultimates, but I think one of the big problems, 100 Thieves have not been able to control A rubble at all. Now they're putting a bit more of an emphasis there. Got a seize, I believe, in the hands of Derek, along with the 0 point.
It looks like a haunt, actually, just a knife into the back as well with it, but immediately, I mean, Foot do not care. You can throw your util, it's going to be cleared out, and there wasn't really any added threat placed behind that one.
Yeah, I mean, nade used for cryo too, but against Futbolist comp, especially 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 on the Neon, it's really hard to predict the timing of where he could be going.
And talk about that pressure, bang. The back of the site now, all the util being flooded his way. It's a paranoia as well, so he's blinded up. Wall, pretty similar position there, taking a fight. I mean, the wall just rotating around.
So good though. That shut it down. It's got to be a save from 100 Thieves.
Has to be.
They've got no chance.
Unless you start taking risks. Bangs out in the open though. He knows that someone's planted close to that corner. Astral form, popping it off there, and that's going to be a TP out to disengage. Not cleared, not watched for. Angles, tries to flick towards the cranium of 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒, but they're just investing everything into this, and it's desperation. Derek trying to make a moment of it, trying to get a clip, but will not happen. Shut down, and Foot leading. 3 rounds now between them.
If they had saved 3 rifles there, they might have still been able to delay that pivotal moment one step further and put together something for round 18. But by committing to the retake, I think that's a massive blunder because they've just set Futbolist for a perfect sweep of momentum heading deeper into this map.
Yeah.
100 Thieves are now in very desperate territory. And I think that you're seeing the weaknesses of this composition. While it's very good for controlling the map on some other, or rather, it's very good at controlling territory on some other maps. Here on Lotus, it's too big. The choke points are not small enough to get value out of the seize nade, and they don't have information. As soon as Futbolists take away rubble from them, 100 Thieves don't have info on the rest of the map. There was only bang on C. He was forced to play retake. And 100 Thieves don't even have a great retake comp here. They haven't demonstrated an ability to retake at any point in this map. Futbolists are running away with this, and they look like they've got a much better idea of how to play Lotus.
Understandable. It's their map pick. They looked pretty fantastic. Admittedly, not really tested too hard when they played against RRQ, but we referenced earlier, I think 100 Thieves coming into this match and entering that second half, that was the unknown territory. And really feel it, I think, as well, just how important it is that 100 Thieves have a good read on their opponents and what they're going to be doing. Right now, weaknesses just being pried apart.
So once more, we're going to see the clash over towards A. Just a small one, though. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒's not committing to this, so I think Foot are going to allow 100 Thieves to control this area just a little bit.
So question is, a prowler knife.
Who really pushes up? Does anyone try and take this space?
Looks like the whole team is. They're on a Stinger and Sheriff buy right now for 100 Thieves, so willing to take these risks. And I mean, Foot are so damn aware that they could be pushed here. You can see the ping. Mr. Fallen's not opening himself up to a wider angle. He's letting them push into them. Paranoia though, this is the time to fight up close and personal. Usually the Stinger favored, but this time, Mr. Farland.
That is so
Getting
dangerous.
away with it.
So dangerous from Mr. Farland. His teammates had just left, thinking he wasn't going to go for that play, and he's just, YOLO. But whatever, he has a better gun, so he ends up on the positive side of it and gets a heal from 𝐒𝐿. So he's dealt with it.
Yeah, and a bit of a disconnect now as we enter that mid-round.
And 100 Thieves don't tend to be that dangerous on these rounds. Their player quality is really high, just as high as the Footballist guys. But they tend to play in such a structured way that they don't actually have that many crazy opportunities in the middle of a round.
Yeah,
they don't create chaos.
Foot are now waiting into the site. There's 2 players holding this one, including Stellar up close.
And they've heard the footsteps,
Yeah,
so they're
and
calling for rotates.
They don't have a paranoia or the flashes all the way through. It's down to Stellar, but he cannot claim the kill. It's 𝐒𝐒 once more. Massive performance. And so many shots going to be fired now. A bit of a reset of the aim. The angle being found, and time is running low. Foot going to make the most of it. Asuna! Absolute freak of nature.
Well, let me just eat my words. 100 Thieves spoon-feeding my comments back to me. That is ridiculous from Asuna.
And just the spacing from Foot there, just not wide enough to give them any berth away from that. You can see those shots, I mean, lined it up perfectly for him. All he's got to do is rattle them away one after the other.
And I think, Bren, you were right on the money there. Too many footsteps, ironically, from Foot. And 100 Thieves read it, stacked 4 players there, and just like that, they're back in the map.
It was a massive round for them to be able to take away here. Again, that same, really similar presence by 100 Thieves here. They throw the horn, but there's not too much else being used behind this. And this does apply that kind of pressure to Derek, because he's had to just play all the way back. He pretty unaware currently as well. With all these smokes blocking these line-of-sight angles, with how far back he is, he's had to call for rotates. It weakens the rest of the defensive hold for 100 Thieves, as they have pulled over 3 of the players.
It weakens some of the hold, but Bang's getting good info towards C, so he knows this isn't a fake. They can full commit. And now we get to see, how good does 100 Thieves retake look? They're not, oh, they are going for a flood.
Showstopper, yep. Flooding right back in with the ultimate. We have to see value in the middle. Guesses incorrectly. Right to the side. Crack's still making the most of this one, and 𝐒𝐿 holding the line, making sure that nobody can wade past that one sight line. It's up to them to try and find some heroics here. Stellar tries to reset the aim here. He is going to be on 70 health, drops down low in that 1v2. Players low, but the angle not afforded to him. 𝐒𝐿, what a finish to that one. 11th round gained here for Foot, and climbing ever so closer to that critical map 1 win.
Just when 100 Thieves pull out magic to get back into the map, Footballists slam the door in their face once more. And that post plant was lovely. And also, I got a question. Every time we've seen Cryo try and get back into somewhere with his ultimate, he doesn't have a great read on where to fire it. He looks awkward. He's not taking as much space as possible. I think maybe, and it's still a bit too early to say, but maybe you're starting to see some of that lack of comfort that you wouldn't get with Cryo on Jet.
He's sitting at 10 and 15, so it's always a possibility.
This time, a lot of people from 100 Thieves behind that utility on A Rubble. And it's again going to put pressure on Bang. We saw him just have to retreat last time. Now it looks like he's standing his ground.
Everything on Bang's shoulders still delivers a kill, finally shutting down 𝐒𝐒. Absolute menace that he's been opening up these sites, but 100 Thieves are going to be afforded now a 5v4 situation for their retake. Derek opens up the door. This is dangerous, but Cryo's watching the other side of it, the other avenue still. Not really trying to play with a bit of pace here. There is a punish there on the res. 𝐒𝐒 once more being brought down and up close to the wall, Mr. Farland. No opportunities afforded to him. He tried to push past that stage wall as it was broken, but that structure, that discipline, it does rear its head once more for 100 Thieves, so they do get that round, and so back and forth.
Yeah. This map has been insane so far. 100 Thieves are refusing to give up. Every time it looks like they're out of the map. Round 18, round 20. They're winning the necessary thrifties. I suppose not really a thrifty there, though, from 100 Thieves, because they committed to it, but it was a broken buy.
Yeah, it was weak.
They weren't favored. Only Bang receiving 5 players. And he got massive results out of it.
The fact that he even gets 1 kill there, fully blinded up, I think, from the paranoia.
Yeah.
And still gets out of his life.
And just buying time and stopping from Footballists feeling comfortable for the rest of 100 Thieves to get their value.
Heavy presence, though. This fight being taken. And this is a close angle that's being held by Derek. The rest of his team here, even that util being dumped in. And this can get dangerous if you don't have the proper tools to try and contain, especially as 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 opens himself up. Slight angle there. The door being open means that Derek does have an avenue to escape. And that slow pressure being put down onto them. 100 Thieves looking like they really want to fight hard for Ruins here. They're aware of players still watching, still holding these positions.
They were hoping to catch Futbolist in transition there. They just waited, delayed for a little while, and then opened the door and kind of were hoping to collapse on a few players out in the open. But Futbolist was still diligent and disciplined. Now that 0 point finds really good info from Asuna. I think they should have the read that this is heading towards B or C.
Starting to rotate now. Players flooding. Asuna's going to be left onto A just to hold that side down, but that's going to be the incorrect call from him still. Has to show at least that he's thinking about it. But that lockdown being used is going to push 100 Thieves back, so not going to be able to get onto the angles to try and deny space into the site. Foot are going to be able to walk their way in now with 25 seconds left. Very aggressive war. 𝐒𝐄𝐄𝐒, heads up play from him, actually pre-firing the top section of it. Now this rotating door, but there's a crossfire. It's deep in sand. Many fights being taken of great importance right now. The 100 Thieves are struggling to get anywhere. These slow orbs are really bogging them down. They just can't quite find the footing to get into this. The satchel possibly to push them forwards. Fight being taken. 𝐒𝐄𝐄 wins it. Up close again. The second is there. Now the nade. Rebounds forwards. It's all down to 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 with 2. But eventually he goes down. Still planted. Time running low. Down to 𝐒𝐿. Gets the first. Will he get the second? The top of the spike. He will. And now bang. Half HP and tap, tap, tap again. 12-9. The Red Bull clutch. What a difference maker.
Incredibly good idea in the round from Futbolist as well. It's 𝐒𝐿 who opens the round up with the lockdown. And off the back of that ult being used, Futbolist push forward and take as much space as they possibly can. The retake was happening on 3 angles, and 𝐒𝐿 stayed solid against that rotating door from B, and is there to win by just, as you said, Bren, tap, 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 exactly where they need it on that amazing plant position. It's all off the lockdown.
Oh my goodness!
What an opener.
What a punish!
This might be it for the map.
And at 4v5, it's pushing 100 Thieves to desperation. Showstopper, it's close, it misses!
Again!
Does he not claim the kill? And amongst the salvage, amongst the rubble, it's Foot that are reigning supreme, and 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒, he's not messing around. The space being gained, the shutdown in place, 4 kills to take the map.
It is such an awesome start from Foot. An incredible map veto, exactly pushing 100 Thieves to the area where they've looked the weakest in this tournament, and they come out with results. I was a bit worried about the first half, but with 5 on the board, they demonstrated they didn't even really need that.
And the pressure and expectations on 100 Thieves' shoulders. Well, listen, their opponent's Foot, like we said at the beginning, everything to play for, but all that pressure, they know they're the underdogs coming into this. The real David versus Goliath. That's going to be map number 1, wrapped up here, but still much more of the series left to go. We'll see you just after this.
𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 পুরো ডিফারেন্স ক্রিয়েট করে দিল, পুরো ডিফারেন্স ক্রিয়েট করে দিল। 31 kills. এরকম স্টেজে 31 kills অসম্ভব, অসম্ভব, মানে অস্বাভাবিক খেলে। তার মানে সেরকম এম, সেরকম গেম সেন্স, সেরকম টিম সাপোর্ট।
Match found.
नेक्स्ट मैप बेटा हेवन को ভাল লাগে ভাই খুব স্প্রেডেড ম্যাপ না বড় ম্যাপ
Try not to die.
অ্যাটাকেও খুব সুবিধা ডিফেন্সও খুব
Three. Four. Don't mess with me. Embarrassing.
কথা বলে যেতে বলতে এটা কি ওষুধ কি ওষুধ টাইগার সিলটা বেশি না দেখতে নেই যেটা তো আমি আমার তো টাইগার সিল বেশি
Don't get it. Lights out. Killed their cipher. Tackled. Dead. Killed their cipher. Bad luck. You're done.
One minute remaining. Ten kills remaining. Seconds left.
Killed their cipher.
Ten seconds left.
Anyone else? Call me when the world ends again. I'd hate to miss it.
Exact 10 minutes का break.
1 and 19 with over 220 ADR. Like, this is going to be an even matchup, I think.
Let's get this started. Speaking of confidence, that's a sheriff in the hands of Kiwi. But Cryo's the one's going to be leading it in now for 100 Thieves on this pistol round. Dash forwards. Not in close, but a good paranoia. Looks like Foot want to be fighting this one. Putting their own util into this, making sure that it's not an easy task. And despite the flash into the back, still the kills, one after another. Asner with that ghost. Real precision, even the paranoia into the back. And a captain does well to get just the one, but at least the angle's being watched for. So, pistol round gets off on the right start here for 100 Thieves.
Such fantastic play from Bang and Asana to support Cryo as he goes into backside. I think you need to start with the composition from 100 Thieves. Asana moving away from the fade and not playing breach, which is very common on this map too, means that they're going to have quite a bit less utility for Cryo. Right? Asana's got more for himself, but for Cryo on their retakes or when they try to get, like in that situation where they're trying to push towards the back of the site, having already taken the front, they don't have that extra breach utility. So instead, 100 Thieves have got to rely on extremely good trading. And that's what you get from Bang, from Derek and Asana, Stella too, actually. These guys are so clean with it, usually.
They've certainly been pushed in that area.
Yeah, and I think Kiwi will continue to push them, Brett. I think it's one thing to be able to trade out a Neon. I think in theory, it's even more difficult to trade out the Jet. If Kiwi starts getting the feel of the game and getting his groove going, he's going to be able to force 1v1s just based off the agent he's playing.
Contact push-up, smoke a little bit delayed there, so the drone, I believe, spots at least one, maybe two players in short.
If they cancel, Mr. Fallen going for the info peak when 100 Thieves are
That's going to make them re-hit.
still clearly there. That's a pretty big mistake, I think.
Oh, and it's angle, Stella. You're not favored there, son. Spectre, slight upgrade, and Kiwi makes the most of it. Now this guy is a real thorn in their sides.
Both Jets popping off.
Yep. You can just buy his time, make sure that this fight gets taken, and that is not favorable. Bang will trade it, but my goodness. What a threat this guy is.
Massive mistake from Cryo there, being the trader with only a fraction of health. Leaves everything down to Bang. This is a round that 100 Thieves cannot afford to lose.
20 seconds. Spike's not in his hands, has to reclaim it, and realistically, only sight that's going to be afforded to him is that A sight.
There is very little time
12
here.
seconds, and yet, look at this.
Monch has a nano swarm if Bang doesn't plant safe.
Ready and waiting. Smoke, push forwards. Kill needs to be found, and my goodness, is it strained. But it is a round win, nevertheless, for 100 Thieves. Foot can be happy with that, though. There was a ton of damage done. Not just to the economy, but I think Kiwi as well, building up that confidence.
Yeah, I mean, mental damage inflicted, I think. But I don't know if we'll see in the replay. Yeah, here. Cryo tries to trade when he's the weak player and Derek has all the health. That is way the wrong way of doing things. And I don't know why that call is made, because it would be so natural for Cryo to be the first player in. But yeah, for whatever reason, that's what they chose, and it led to disaster there. Taking a look at the economy again. Not really that badly affected. Only a Guardian for Derek, and Mr. Fallen has one on the other side. So very even scenes heading into round 3, but it's not a bonus.
Shots are fired off just down that long corridor. It's a contact play, bit of a reload. Oh, cracks. Of course he wants to take the fight. He wants a little bit more, and he's going to get supported. Stray shots being rattled, and my goodness, that Guardian. Mr. Fallen making the most of it. 3 in the round. Will he make it 4? Not quite, but he'll be happy with that. That's a Prime Gaming flawless. Upgrades all around. And so that bonus round, the 100 Thieves fully invested into, not back down to that eco.
Yeah, there's the big issue. And Footballists, you're seeing what they're going to do frequently on this defense side, which is to try to challenge 100 Thieves before they get set up for an execute. So they're on aggressive angles. They're trying to get them before or as they use utility. And you see for 100 Thieves, they weren't ready to go for some big C split. They were only just starting to walk up to the choke point where they wanted to burst from. And Footballists want to force those fights, force the engagements where they can take 1v1s and don't have to worry about utility.
Yeah, disrupting those timings, that's been a key win condition for Foot. It's nice to see it carry forwards. Early days yet, though, on Haven, so... Is that weaker buy? Okay, drone, I don't believe spotted anything. But maybe just a bit of a feint as they do set their sights now over towards the B sites. Nano swarms, though, they're going to be blocking that off, so... the back of that paranoia, and that's not too ideal. It's got to be Cryo that really sets them up. Dashes forwards. Great kill to find with a Blade Storm, but still difficult. No, stray bullets. Almost goes down himself. That's going to go down, though. 33 health. He's got to make the most of this. The knife is going to be avoided. Dash forwards. Is the trade there? Yes. Bang. Has the rifle. Derek, what is that? Up close and personal, straight through the scope. Here's the tap. Tries to hit the flick, but eventually shut down. Out of captain.
Safe hands. But that one got scary. With a rifle in the hand of Bang, he almost made miracles happen there. And honestly, Cryo was supposed to be the player that was put in position to clutch the round, and despite being able to get the opener, I feel like he could have maybe done more. That could have gotten even more dangerous for Foot.
Yeah, very, very dangerous. Derek making the most of that Marshall purchase.
It just keeps the economy suppressed a little bit for Foot. It doesn't have any ramifications here, but maybe as we go later down the road. 𝐒𝐒, though, now with Operator in hand, looking towards C. 100 Thieves seem like they're putting a premium on breaking this Killjoy utility early on, and then cancelling. There you see Garage Control break the alarm bot. They're looking to try and punish any reaction from Footballist.
Then,
Cracks get a bit too aggressive over on A.
The captain is pretty wide out in the open down that A long angle. The drone just spotting that. Has to be some level of awareness that there could be a player pushed, but smoke's going to be dropped down now, front side of B. There's a turret at the top, but it's not going to be spotting them if they contact through the smoke. That's the purpose of it. And there we go, flash into the connector. Starting to make their moves. 100 Thieves moving forwards once more. That's going to be a cloud burst, and Mr. Fallen, pressure's on him. Dash back though to disengage. That stun's good, and a reset of the aim. Magical stuff so far, really testing every single faculty of play from 100 Thieves, and they're looking to pivot that back into Garage, but guess what? Moj is there. Once more ready. And his sideline is so damn precarious.
They've also just never taken information away from Footballist on A. Foot never have to worry about the A side of the map at all, because Cracks is just watching that.
And what's the answer? Taking their time, contact in, one player spotted. Oh, close to the corner. That is really good discipline. No! Oh my goodness, what a whiff. Could have denied the plant there, could have maybe got a little bit more, but too greedy with it. Now a deep knife to push and take control of the connector. Fast play into the back of the side. It's 𝐒𝐒 with the most to do, but he will fall. Stellar and Derek still alive. Asking to drop to his knees. Now being surrounded, but this crossfire is quite good, and the cam is going to be giving information in the moment. There it is, spotted around the side. Enough bullets will do it, and magical stuff from Stellar. Seals the deal.
Looking awesome on these attack sides. But it was the defense where Stellar fell to pieces. We'll have to wait and see for that. What an unfortunate whiff from Ada Captain, though. The discipline and the awareness to know he could win the round right then and there, and yet couldn't win the duel against Asuna, who was planted. He's gonna be kicking himself for that. But competitors have got to have short memories. Wipe that one away, focus on the next round.
That's what it comes down to.
I'm looking at 𝐒𝐒 here. He looks like he wants to push down mid with the Blade Storm.
He does have him. Ripped him out in his hands right now. Deep Haunt as well. Spots onto Stellar, but just contacting. But it is being watched for. Yeah, they are ready for it. You have got to be kidding me. What a ballsy play, man. Updraft dash into it. And risk taken all over the damn map. Close to the corner. That's not being cleared by the drone there. Mr. Fallen could get quite a lot of work done. Paranoia, though, cuts across. Even a shot dart. Is it going to be cleared? No, it's a half clear. Eventually, Bang swings it around. It's tidy.
Nicely done. 100 Thieves not getting caught up by the same problems they had early. You know, kind of round 3, round 4 issues for them, where Footballists were able to challenge them much more aggressively. That time, 100 Thieves are ready for it. Stellar holding all the way back in his own spawn. And actually, 𝐒𝐒 forced a 1v1 too. If he'd been able to get the kill instantly, he may have had time to turn on the second player just with the way he dashed. But I think still credit to 100 Thieves, even with the way that they took C, always holding for each other, never allowing just one player to be exposed. That's the level of discipline that 100 Thieves need.
And here comes an important round. Big investment from Foot. Spending almost all their money. They've got good ults as well to try and deny the plan. But looks like that is the goal. Cryo dashes into the wall.
Yeah, fake.
Not sure if that's intentional, but okay, well, Derek wants to make the most of this one. Doesn't save the Hunter's Fury. Instead, he saw an opportunity for it. And
Bang's
distracted
ulted into spawn.
Yep. Bang ulting into the back. It ruined the crosshair placement of Mr. Fallen. And he can be just that final backstab for them.
What a sick set play by 100 Thieves. In interviews, they were talking quite a bit about how they've moved away from this style a little, with Mike's taking over for Sean. But I love them whenever they throw them out because they always seem so well prepared.
Yeah.
And it just takes the pressure off the 100 Thieves guys to have to worry too much because they're all just, you know, going through the motions.
I wonder if we'll see this in the replay as well, but I got to think now as well, Cryo dashing into the wall has to be intentional.
Oh, yeah.
Util.
Yeah, that was a bait.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's trying to draw attention towards B because as soon as the B players hear that, they're going to be throwing out utility, they're going to be calling for the rotates, and that pulls people away from spawn, so it gives space to Bang, and it also pulls people away from the rest of the map where 100 Thieves are actually intending to go.
Really smart.
Yeah, it's a sick little pump fake strat.
Yeah.
So that gets one on the board, and actually, I think they would have been hoping that Footballist heavy committed to it, and it ruined the economy. And instead of that being an economical pivot round, that gets delayed a little bit because Footballist kept 3 players alive.
You can really feel the importance of it now with that timeout. So
yeah, Foot take a timeout. And Foot have massive ults to work with.
Yeah.
This one's really important. The question is, can the ult economy make up for the fact that 2 of their players are going to be coming in here with Spectres, probably?
How do you want to fight it? The comp is good that they're running on the side of Foot for playing retakes towards A if they wanted to. Yeah, just pressuring them back with the breach. You know, the Aftershock is a great tool to use in that circumstance. But, I mean, so far, honestly, it feels like 100 Thieves aren't even wading towards A lobby. I mean, there's some early cages. That's pretty much it.
Well, yeah, I was looking towards what Stellar was doing on the attack side. So, to break it down, he's throwing that cage early, but he's not actually popping both of them. He leaves one for the mid-round, he puts his cam, and this is, you know, forcing Foot to break the cam, to push him away. He leaves a trip. And then Stellar's job is, late in the round, somewhere in the mid-round, he can pop that cage, either for them to genuinely return to A, or to fake the return to A. One of the problems, though, is Foot aren't scared. They are just still swinging it to get info, because they want to take a fight. They don't care if 100 Thieves are there. They're looking to take the duel anyway.
That's their playbook.
Yeah, you kind of have to bully Foot a little bit so that they stop being so confident. But when you're playing against these Turkish teams, they just have confidence in droves.
It'll take more than that to push them back.
So there, look, you have double cage being thrown from Stellar, the cam as well. Presumably the cam will end up getting broken, and now these cages can be popped later in the round. But the fake just hasn't been that effective because 𝐒𝐒 just stays there and he's like, well, is anyone actually pushing off the back of this?
Player close though. Oh, this could be everything. Bang. Cutting noise. Silent. Where did he go? Rotated back there to the choke. Staying alive for now, but in some real danger. Another smoke going to be dropped down, and that's in the connector. They hit his turret. They have pulled so many players off Foot over towards B.
Both cages now pop from Stellar, and look, 𝐒𝐒 just doesn't care. He's still calling the bluff of 100 Thieves. So these 4 players stay towards B and towards C.
So they're going to be in position now to try and disrupt this one. It looks like pretty slow setup by 100 Thieves as they're trying to at least make it look like it's towards the C-split, but time is running low here. But the amount of time that they've spent just trying to get into the site, it's left up to contact plays, and that's what it's going to take. Derek moves forwards, an instant answer. Cracks, beautiful stuff from him, but down to Rolling Thunder. Whittles his way across. Stellar just trying to beat that late backstab once more. Fully blinded up, though. He's going to be spamming away. Has to whip the classic. And now the U-turn to the back of the site, but the players are surrounding this. And the spike still yet to be planted. Aftershock pushes them back. This is a disaster for 100 Thieves. Stellar trying to make the most of it, but time is so damn low, and he's got to stick it. It's the only play afforded to him. Will he get the spike down? Will that respect be shown? Yes, but the angle watched for on top of logs, and Kiwi's good for it.
Foot shutting it down. 100 Thieves with way too many angles to cover, and the util is not hitting these defenders. The paranoia missed, the nade missed, and like I said, that A fake that Stella's going for, trying to pull people or keep people on A, that's also failing. Foot are holding their ground and calling the bluff of 100 Thieves. They're not showing them any respect, and it's paying off in dividends. 100 Thieves have got to go back to the drawing board here, and I think that it's actually really difficult to tell that your A pressure isn't working. You know, they can't see the full minimap. They don't know that that kind of stuff is happening.
Operator in the hands of Cryo, though. He's taken that deep angle, deep line towards A long.
And it might seem like we're being overly critical here of 100 Thieves, but if they hadn't won the pistol and follow-up, this has been dead even. And the economy is on a knife's edge on both sides too. 100 Thieves maybe with a slight lead. Good utility here, but having to commit so many more bodies to A just to make sure that Foot respect it. And I could still see 𝐒𝐒 re-peaking this.
Yeah. This guy loves to take the fights. In the middle of all of this as well, there's been so much time burnt off of this round. There hasn't been any preset destruction of that Killjoy utility.
They can't afford the bodies to go and do it because they're focused so hard on A.
And so does Crossfire setup. It looks like they're just trying to slam into the site now. Hammering into these players, 𝐒𝐒 though. Rare fight being lost there, but Asna still comes up with the goods, and okay. Lit up like a Christmas tree. Our captain, no choice but to try and leap and bound out of there, but doesn't get out with his life. That counter spam at work. There's a lockdown to push them away here, but a spike has been planted. What have 100 Thieves got for this? Nana Swarm at their feet, I believe, destroyed, and now they have taken these forward positions. Mr. Fallen, he looks away at just the wrong time. A double play pushing up Cryo. What a shot to hit. And he has just been the difference maker.
What was happening there in the Foot camp? Why were they so distracted, looking the wrong way? Great opportunity to win that round, and it falls away from them. 100 Thieves offered another opening. Take a look at this in the replay, the way that Cryo just finds the back.
Because Mr. Fallen is looking
behind. Yeah, really unusual stuff there. Must have been distracted by the A-long players or possibly some kind of weird comp from the rest of his team. Well, that gives 100 Thieves a great opening.
𝐒𝐒's got an arm.
Yeah, I mean, don't ask me. He can afford it next round, and it's not like he's worried about dropping it to Cryo.
This is, yeah, I mean, honestly, respect the play.
I think he could be much more active around the map if he had a rifle, perhaps, but his opping is pretty superb.
The knife sailed its way down over the top.
And he's still getting active.
He's over towards C now.
Yeah.
Tons of players here. What a shot! Oh my goodness! Sending Cryo all the way back to the respawn queue with that one. A watch from the sideline. Still, Stella. Not a moment missed from him. Cage forwards, and he is going to be taking up that space. Wants to make the most of this one. He knows that the big threat is going to be on 𝐒𝐒. Almost taking a bit of damage. Mr. Fallen up close. Shorty, that's dangerous. Rifle now picked up from that one. Good paranoia to clear, but guess what, 𝐒𝐒? This guy is everywhere right now. BCA, doesn't matter.
Stella's been the most active player for 100 Thieves. He's had to kill almost everybody. Oh, and my word, 𝐒𝐒 nearly got a shot at the back of Derek's head as he flees to C. 𝐒𝐒 can't quite find the timing to deny the spike from meeting up.
Very fast with it, though.
Can he win the 1v2? Does he have any idea where Stella is?
2 cloud bursts. One going to be used to try and fake some presence towards Garage, and he's lurking all the way up. Could have got a fantastic read. It's a double clearance by 100 Thieves, though, if they're not ready for this, and they're not. First kill found. How does this get played? By Derek, he swings it. Oh, that's how
so
you
bold.
match it, man. That's how you match it. Got to fight fire with fire, confidence with confidence.
That certainly seems to be the idea from 100 Thieves. Stella once more is finding these gorgeous timings too. His attack side read of the game has been beautiful on both of these maps. But it was the second half where it all fell away from 100 Thieves, and I'm worried about the same kind of thing, I'm not gonna lie. When we saw these two teams play in the offseason, and yes, it was without 𝐒𝐒, 100 Thieves went up 8-4 on this half when they were attacking. And it was only just enough. They went up to 11-4, and then the end result was 13-10. It was a really close game. Cryo responds with the opener, playing just as well as he did in that match. At least when he's on Jet.
Yeah. Definite comfort role. 𝐒𝐄𝐒 though. This position usually gets cleared. He wants to take the fight. There was a stun. The fault line there to set him up. Instant answer, and he does still want to fight it.
He can't get punished.
Solo takes the wall and rips off the head of Cryo. Foot are just demonic.
𝐒𝐄𝐒 makes the difference. And as Yinsu said, he's stepping on the hoodie hawk. Oh my word. He had 31 kills on Lotus. He's got 13 in the first 11 rounds. And I said the Jet pick, in theory, is even more difficult to stop because he just forces the 1v1s. His crosshair, immaculate. His read of the game and where people are going to be is perfect. And he's got an operator with a Blade Storm again to try and finish things out well. Like I said, 8-4 was the kind of line drawn in the sand for 100 Thieves in the offseason. Can it go one better? Flash recon combination, but the flash not quite there in time.
Yeah, still getting broken. Had the placement for it now.
And the cage is just still used. Please, 𝐒𝐄𝐒, go away from A.
Yeah, he's not giving them any ground.
And even if he's not getting the kills here, he's still getting such good info. 4 players from Foot. How many times have we seen it stacked towards B and C?
100 Thieves just looking to try and flood into the site now. There's a flash to push back the angle. Even a fragment nade gives them peace of mind. No one's holding close into that smoke. Plant will go down, but the ults are online here. Foot, Nightfall. How do they want to use this one? Setting it up, a complete post-plant setup as well. The entirety of 100 Thieves playing off the site, and that's the reason why the Nightfall doesn't latch onto any of them, and a reclearance by 100 Thieves is called into Garage. Taking his space, and it's going to have to be up to Cracks to try and lock that one down, but does he expect the second player? Time pressure really on them. Asuna is there behind him at the entire time, and he's lurking, creeping, crawling. It was watched for, spraying it down, so much damage, but no kills found. And it's just sheer chaos. Panic in the camp of 100 Thieves, and they can't win the fights.
Foot ready for it. And
with
with just 2 seconds left on the clock, Foot claim it. I mean, they were ready for the Garage flank. They were ready. They had 3 players ready to shut down Asuna, and he still caused chaos. Nevertheless, Foot come out on top. Great utility, crazy confidence pushing in the mid. That's exactly how you deal with this. Foot can smell blood in the water.
They certainly can. A 5-7 scoreline. It's such a narrow lead for 100 Thieves. And this is elimination. This map is where it all lies. But before we get into that second half, let's toss it down to the desk to break it all down.
Thank you very much, Brennan. Sideshow. Thought they're pulling it back, but Mimi, 100 Thieves had such great ideas here.
Yeah, they had some fantastic ones, and I think that they did a good job on their attacking side of varying the more normal 100 Thieves mid-round, playing to get Saw into a lurk, with some of these set plays that the casters are talking about. And I wanted to take a look at the most impressive one on round 7, where they had this really cool fake into the B site, where they initially come up to B. They've been doing a lot of B hits before this, so Foot is conditioned to recognize this as being a B hit. You have a molly, you have a stun, you have a cloud burst, and you have the Hunter Shuri going in. And Cryo actually fakes his dash. He just dashes straight into a wall to fake them out of this one as they cancel the play. And they run all the way back around into the C site. And Mr. Fallen is expecting them to have come B into Link and wrapped around on him, so he's looking the complete wrong direction. And 100 Thieves to grab a free round. Again, it starts off with good ideas from 100 Thieves, but that is also how map number 1 started.
Yeah, it's a 7-5 half yet again with football starting on the defense. Now they get ready to go on the attack. The one thing that does give me it makes me feel a little bit better right now is the way that this man is playing. Stellar has been incredible on this Cypher. Dropping 328 as an attacking Cypher, impressive stuff. He's also been trying to do some info baiting, making it a little bit more uncertain as to where his presence is, using those Cypher cages over towards A. Granted, football's not really falling for it too much, but this guy now, going over to the defending side, he should be able to be a very solid side anchor.
Yeah, and if we remember back to that very close EDG series, it was Stellar's individual performance and calling that kept 100 Thieves in it. It might just be that again, or it might be Footballers pulling another comeback. The casters just as we're talking about it, there's history between these two teams on this map. Football has pulled a very, very close game with a strong attack side at Red Bull home ground. We'll have to see if they can replicate that to maybe close this one out 2-0.
Footballs look really hot right now. They are crushing. Kiwi in particular looking great still. It's going to take everything for 100 Thieves to stop this.
Well, if Footballers can do this, this is going to be a massive upset. Josh and Bren, I can't wait to see it.
Certainly about to find out whether or not we will go to that map 3, or is it 100 Thieves who are going to be going home in 2. It would be a tremendous upset if it ended up happening.
Yeah. And Stella's the player to watch, in my mind. He had a great start on Lotus on the attack side, and then he went 2-9 on defense. He just couldn't hold on, couldn't get the read on what was happening either from an IGLing perspective. So I'm looking towards Stella having a better half, and also Cryo being able to find those openings, because at the moment he's getting jet diffed. It's not that Cryo's playing that badly, but Kiwi has just been on fire in the series.
Follow over the shoulder there for the Prowler, just to fake that presence into garage.
This is going to be a trap play down short off the cam. You can see Stella's cam is holding contact. They've got a paranoia, and then Cryo swings.
I mean, trap plays only work if you wade into it.
Yep.
And so far, Foot have dedicated everybody towards this A-long angle. There was a trip there that did stop Kiwi. Cage has also popped up now. This is going to be throwing a bit of misinformation into the mix, just trying to find the shots. And still, now they're pushing them right down into these angles. Still the right click's not quite there. Frenzy in their hands. Pop flash play, and none the wiser. Foot struggled to really hold their ground as they did gain entry into the site, but it is 100 Thieves who get a pretty important pistol round.
Major pistol for 100 Thieves to win for a couple of reasons. One, because I think 100 Thieves are going to be more pressured on this side of the map. And also, on Lotus, we saw Footballists start the comeback by winning a really important pistol and drawing things back up 7-7. So that's what I'm looking towards here. Can 100 Thieves start to establish some pressure early? And actually, I really enjoy the idea of playing heavy short. The retakes looked wonky for 100 Thieves in their off-season game. There's been a long time for them to improve that. But the comp that they're running, without a fade, without a breach, you actually don't have very much good retake utility. So holding people down in deep positions, like short, like backside, is going to be important for them.
Hold line catch, Stella. Horn's going to get broken. Okay, and then there's a counter play there with a dart.
Yeah, I love this idea a lot more from 100 Thieves, the way that they're actually holding control over the map and not playing full retake. Brent, you actually broke down a play earlier on the Telestrator about how good 100 Thieves retakes can be, but this was one of the maps where it was looking shaky, so I'm in favor of the adjustment. We'll have to see whether it continues.
Yeah, the comp definitely suits that more hard anchoring play style where they're just not really willing to give up the space too easily. And Foot.
Four players on A.
Yeah, this is a heavy committal for 100 Thieves, but listen, it's the bonus round. They're looking to try and gamble a little bit.
But what this means is if you sniff out the fact that 100 Thieves are playing super heavy on one side of the map, you can push things into Stella and force 100 Thieves to play retake.
Knife and deep dart over the top there. And I know there's only the one player holding towards the one side of it, and look at this play to be made. Mosh, oh, the spike's in his hand, he's looking away, pop flash play, no one's close.
Yeah, they clear garden and decide not to over push. So now it's a race over towards C.
What can Stella do in this position? He's got a setup right now.
Wow, Footballists are so slow though.
Yeah, this is making it incredibly obvious. Still 100 Thieves. I think that there could be some presence into mid, but now the util's going to be sent flying. There you go, paranoia, flash, everything. Whole kitchen sink as far as I'm concerned, and it does announce the presence of Foot. Cam spotting out there onto Mr. Farlin. Nanoswarm's going to be dropped down for them, but a fast retake, a fast play into the back of the site. There are flashes at work. Does at least grab that assist. Still the fight being taken, and then Stella relatively favored. This garage fight's so important, and Krax is just falling. And this hold is just so weak right now for Foot. 2 players remaining, trying to hold this down off the turret. Turret's contact! Oh my goodness, straining it down! Having to defuse, but they're spraying in the wrong angle still! Eventually grabbing it, but my word, was it close.
And that means a good bonus round for 100 Thieves. They didn't invest heavily into the round and applied a lot of pressure. I actually think, yeah, listen, despite the fact that Foot win the round, 100 Thieves demonstrated that the flood retaking is also going to be good. The big problem will be when Footballists actually are able to set up the post plants But there, 100 Thieves were really fast, using Asina's flash to get out through CT, and Stella kept a smoke on site for them to first step, take back site, second step, take front site, and then start to worry about the post planters. This round's going to be supremely important, and Cryo had enough money to invest in an operator here. Holding a more passive angle than 𝐒𝐒 was.
Does he choose to still hold? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get punished for that, so he's still playing confidently.
Smokes the cross, hold on the outside edge a bit. Will there be a re-peek? Stun. Does catch. Cryo forced out of that common position. He has got the entirety of the enemy team. Just
if you go for this, you have to go for it fast and burn your dash.
It's a high-low setup, though. They're going to be holding for this, surely. Util waiting. They're going to be up close, close. There's no dash. There it is. Waiting for some sort of sound cue. It was an instant reaction to get out of there. But he needs to hold this down or even get out, and he does at least back away.
Perfectly playing around the timings from Cryo there. Masterful work. But it's going to be a set retake from 100 Thieves. No flooding into the site here. And this is where the troubles have been happening, because Futbolist looks so good.
Paranoia, that's catching onto two. 𝐒𝐒, though, has to be the man of the match. Crack's still close. No one clearing his close caller. That's Mr. Fall in lockdown. Right around the side. Cryo just not favored with the run and gun. Spectre making the most of it. And Foot, that was such an important round to win for them. The economy would have been shattered if they ended up losing that.
And it's 4v5, but once more you see the same themes. 100 Thieves don't have the ability to go for these set retakes. And what I mean by the set retake is that you allow Futbolists the time to get into the best post-plant positions possible, put down the killjoy, lockdown, set up the crossfires on site. And normally the way of breaking that is by dumping utility in there, going for a big coordinated retake at the same time. I don't think 100 Thieves have that, but this set play looks like it's masterfully constructed.
Yeah, Blade Storm, Flash, Recon, it's all there put together. Cryo was set up for the assist.
But now that Cryo dies, I think that's the sting taken out of the round.
Absolutely.
The other 4 players with a Sheriff. Maybe something will happen, but otherwise we're set up still for a close half here.
Yeah, it's going to take Foot essentially walking into this defensive setup, because Stella is getting a decent amount of information with how pushed he is up into A long right now, and looks like the rest of Foot are grouping up for a bit of a C pop. Still, it's a contact play. Flash reclear gets good info. Damage done. Nades into the corner. Where's the setup? Anybody dying from that? Not quite, just weakening them. And Nade actually missed there. I think it hit the shins of somebody who was just holding into the corner. Prowler's good still. He doesn't click the one shot. Derek, what can he do? 20 health, just can't quite get the angle in time, can't quite find a shot. The flank though, Stella picked up a rifle from Pryor, wide swing from him, but it's contained.
We saw when 100 Thieves played against EDG, the game was insanely close. It got to this kind of point in the final map, and they lost a 2v5, then they got 1v3 by 𝐒𝐿. They had to dodge 2 match points, but they were still able to come through. We know there's a lot of tenacity in this team. I'm looking towards Cryo again. Operator, same kind of line. Futbolists are going to be spamming utility at him. Can they get another opening pick?
Sort of cross. Dash activated though. Nightfall. Mr. Fallon's in! He's just right into the back of them. I believe that was a TP, the old play as well, and he's cut them up right from behind. The rest of his team backing him up. And they're taking these fights effectively, methodically, spamming down the angles. And Stella, what option are you afforded other than to save? You've got to run away. Get the hell out of there.
And what a great play. They had no idea that Mr. Fallen had come behind them.
Yeah. He even caught me unaware.
Yeah, completely crunched those players over towards A long. And that's a set play from Futbolists, right? We've seen them find a lot of value on the attack side in this match, but used sporadically. That's such a huge one, though, because it knocks 100 Thieves back down onto an eco. The perfect time to run a strat like that.
Yeah. So pivotal.
Stella's rifle is going to be the only thing they have working towards round 19. And despite the fact that 100 Thieves win the pistol, we're all tied up.
9-9, this is where it gets particularly dangerous.
And again, I feel like our tone is critical of 100 Thieves, like we're really sensing danger here. And part of the reason for that is 4 out of 9 of the rounds have been 100 Thieves winning pistol and follow-up. So they've actually only demonstrated, you know, 5 other moments where they've been able to take control on Haven. Almost double that for Futbolist. This really does look dangerous to me. And Foot's economy is set up to take the lead.
Yeah. This is a timeout for 100 Thieves. Choosing now to take it. Obviously, the money for 100 Thieves currently, what I'm looking at, it's going to be that weaker half buy again, other than the rifle that Stella did manage to carry forward. So whatever they're calling, whatever they're cooking, is going to be put around probably after this one. But now you're just slipping into potential defeat.
I'm not seeing the value out of the KO. It's not that Asana's having a bad game himself, but compared to a Breach, where you're able to give, you know, fault lines down A short and really try to control lobby, where you've got the flashes for the retake and the stuns, Aftershock to try and deny the plant, you know, all of these tools that we know and love on this map, or the Fade that Asana was running in the offseason, where you have the overwhelming utility of Recon Dart being used at the same time as a Haunt, and it's very difficult to stop one of them from getting value. It's the kind of pick where Asana needs to be put in positions to control rounds himself. You kind of need Asana to be taking over the game with Cryo here on defense. I haven't seen that just yet.
Yeah, it's just been Foot knocking 100 Thieves off balance multiple times now.
What do you think about Stella keeping the rifle here, Brent?
I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? The guy's been performing so damn well. A bit risky, spraying it down. You've got to be kidding me. Investing 100 Fury into that. That's 2 tags. And a great prediction. Derek does land the final shot, but it's brought him into this 2v3.
What an ult. And they know that there's a weapon down. Obviously, Stella had it, so they're going to re-drone Garage and try and find the rifle. A 2v3 retake. Clearly, 100 Thieves are not favored in this situation, but
it's a lifeline.
They've got a chance.
A lot of ults being committed here, and that gets good info. You know they're heading towards A.
I think they would have had the information fairly shortly anyway, because Krax is about to plunge that spike into the earth. Ooh. That's a bit of damage, though, actually.
Yeah, drops him down to 36.
And he wouldn't have got that shock dart without Bang's ult.
Recon dart available. How do they want to play this?
I think a win here would be drawing at
Paranoia.
Captain's ult out.
Yeah, Recon as well, but that's going to be the counter util used. Bang! TB's back. No exchange of the weapons. Haunt's going to be taken care of. There it is, rifle in the hands of the stronger player, but they just cannot get past it. The smoke in play, the good swings there. Cracks Mr. Farland. Magical stuff that we're witnessing.
But the post plants are so solid for Futbolist. They look extremely strong. And like I said, a win in that round would have been dragging out the Breach ult from Adacaptain, but it doesn't come. Derek has an Odin. It's going to be spamming through right where Mr. Fallen is standing.
We'll see if he gets a pick off of this one. Blade Storm in the hands of 𝐒𝐄𝐒. And not quite now as well. Looks like he wants to fight into mid. Full confidence. He's pushing all the way up. This cam's going to be spot on them once they cross that threshold. There's a Rolling Thunder. Paranoia as well. Dash forwards into the side. Danger zone right now. Klabber spots it though. 𝐒𝐄𝐒 has to respect it. Backing away. And Stella, great timing for a peek. Where's the rest of his bailout? There we go. Team finally starting to flood in. And punishing Foot for trying to claim this space onto the B side. Spike. Such an unfavorable situation. And I think that was a wallbang. Modz just dropped down to 22 health, still alive in this fight. And it's reflank all the way through, right around the side. Is anybody going to be watching for this? He's just holding. Still onto the corner. 100 Thieves players. Drone's going to be stopped in his tracks. It is being watched for by Asana. But timing is everything. And there we go. 1 kill found. Bang does respond. And they know where the final player is.
I mean, Bang's positioning right now seems absurd to me because Moj could come from either of the connectors. He'll have to give it up at some point. Can Moj win the 1v2? Only 22 health. Seems impossible to me, but we've seen miracles from Moj.
Bang drops down off the high ground, holding the one connector. No real gaps in the protocol, and barely a glimpse of the player model before Bang eventually removes him.
Stella had such a fantastic read in that round. He knew they were taking the Rolling Thunder to B. The spam from Derek early on is great to try and catch somebody, but Derek immediately gives up the B connector. Stella's hiding in backside. They have players ready to swarm instantly, and the shutdown was immediate onto Kiwi. They've actually managed to keep Kiwi under control. It's something we haven't talked about too much over the course of this map, because he started on fire, but now slowing just a little.
Stepping up to that challenge that's been facing him. That knife, great info. Takes on to multiple players. And a reposition now with the operator in Cryo's hands. Brax has been Prowler flash through the side. Cryo is really quite separated here. Dodges the C's though, that wasn't quite good enough. And Cryo's allowed to just get back up onto this angle. He's going to be waiting until the final moment before he eventually uses this one to just get out of there. No reswing, not even a crumb given to him. But when is the timing? Still, the confidence to take this flash over the side. What a shot! Lands it, but you have to respect the lockdown.
And we've seen this exact same round happen before, where Cryo got the first pick and Football has still won the 4v5. In fact, Kiwi doing the exact same thing again, trying to get into this spot.
They're giving Cryo the rifle now. Probably a dash engage as they want to try and play this retake. Flash, dart, at the same time. Means it doesn't get broken. It reveals the position of Mr. Fallen.
Missed
Made
the
at the bottom
molly.
as well. What is 𝐒𝐄𝐂𝐒? It's applying the pressure. It's turning up the heat. It's down to Kiwi. What can he do? Not much. Still, and a captain holding down his ground and not really watching the angles forward. It's down to Grax. In a 1v3, it's going to be that triple face and 100 Thieves. They claim the lead in this map.
Great round from 100 Thieves, that's what you need to see. And the value from the KO being found there, partly, is the flash recon that identifies that first player at default and forced a bit of an unfavorable fight. I think Cryo's just been doing great work for them on the defense side. The little drive-by attempt from Derek as well with the Spectre. Oh, this is tense again, isn't it?
I mean, this is 100 Thieves being pushed. Feels like in almost every map they've played this tournament.
Yeah. People did not expect that.
I'll go over the top. Cryo's angle is pushed away. Acts as a one-way as well, so. Moving back, and the orb going to be funneled. Brax now with that knife orb. What do they want to do with it? If you're Foot, you don't want to be losing this opportunity. One of the giants of this tournament are locked in. High praise for 100 Thieves. A lot of people saying that they had an easy run at their side of the bracket. The Foot are challenging those notions and more. They cannot let this map slip away from them. They want to perform the grand upset, this clean fight to take.
Full retake setup over towards A. Stella not even with a kill trip on site.
So just the cam to watch them. 𝐒𝐿 was used to clear through a long smokes now and a haunt and a nightfall all the way off site. Actually getting tagged here, same with Stella.
So back-to-back rounds where we get to see 100 Thieves running a set retake into A. And this time they don't even have a player advantage.
It's going to be hard. Again, top of the weapons. They want Cryo to be doing the most here. Derek posted on this angle now. Operator is going to be his responsibility. Watching this, but again, it's that 𝐒𝐿. What do they really have? Bang was trying to help them out. A late flank shut down, so it's going to be removing one of the elements from it. Flash play! Cryo was caught. He was fully blinded. I'm not sure if it was him or what, but holding it down to Graffiti. It's all down to 𝐿𝐼. And he just cannot watch the angles effectively. Too much to look for.
Foot doing a great job at applying pressure to two key playmakers. Bang on the flank has been watched for both times. Cryo, when he dashes into his smoke, got spammed and put under a crazy amount of pressure. I'm right there with you, Bren. I'm not actually sure whose flash that was. I thought it was Asina's in the moment, but I'm not sure. I'm not quite going to get to see it on the replay. Could have been a great flash coming out from Ada Captain, but he was in hell, so that seems really weird to me.
Seems unlikely.
I think it's more likely the fact, although, you know, perhaps we'll never know.
Yeah.
That they just messed up the timing a bit on the retake, and that once more puts all the pressure to 100 Thieves. They've chosen not to force this round, only Cryo finding full armor to go with his Blade Storm. They're going to try and fend off another match point. They had to dodge 2 of those against EDG.
It's a difficult ask, isn't it? We were wondering if 2022, gathering all that experience with some of these younger players on 100 Thieves, whether it would be enough to head into this tournament. But this reposition by Bang, why not? Stinger in your hands, but you're up against the rifles, and it would have been good for this. It's a double reclear. Cryo's pushing it as well. While this exec goes on, dashing forwards. Now it's going to be reset. Derek at the back of the site here with the judge, the jumping shots. You've got to be joking. And damage has been done. Mr. Fallen dropped to 44 health.
It's just insane. He's
Oh, Stella's read it.
Stella's got him.
He's read it. Breaks the ult. 2 players remaining, waiting for him. 30 seconds left. Forced the plant now down to A. Updraft dash play over the top, and it's just impeccable.
How do 100 Thieves bring their best in moments when the pressure is the highest? What was this round? The play is so nicely crafted for considering that their backs are up against a wall. This play, in short, is really cool. We saw the trap play earlier. I highlighted it, but it never quite got activated. But then on site, you've got a jumping judge doing damage to the foot players as they're getting space on site.
And they just can't remove Derek. They don't want to swing him.
Oh, my word.
He's got that judge in his hands. This has forced the timeout now from Foot. You can feel that pressure because this is an opportunity that's slipping away before their very eyes.
I'd be boomed. If I was in Foot's position, I would be boomed that we lost that. Now they're the ones on the back foot, facing a map point for 100 Thieves with 1 opportunity, and only 1, to take it to OT. I said before that Lotus was a must-win for Foot, and they delivered. Haven being at 11-11 with the economy advantage, if you don't capitalize here, I don't know how many more chances 100 Thieves are going to give you.
When will you capitalize?
100 Thieves going to get away with it again.
And so this round, so damn important. You don't need me to tell you that. Round 24. Map point for 100 Thieves to stay alive in the series. Or for Foot to try and close it out, bring it to that OT. It all comes down to this.
It looks like they're just trying to keep it simple here. A full C exec.
Oh, and another set play from Derek. That dart tags onto 1. Is he going to be afforded any targets? Looks like damage is going to be done to 2 players, I believe. Yeah,
that's pretty huge, actually.
Knocks him down, and still, Foot don't want to cancel the hit. They want to operate off of this. Paranoia flash forwards, Bang. Not being cleared out of his position, and he's managed to grab 1. At least for all of his troubles. Alarm bot broken now. This is going to be a fast play. Are they going to try and offset this one? Plant still goes down at the back of the site. Foot, you need a miracle. The drone's going to be tagging, or at least spotting out these players. Flash play, moving forwards now. Into the back of the sides.
It's going to be such a difficult retake without smokes.
Yeah, and Cryo still with his operator as well. Really hard. Dash though enabled. She's avoided for now. Holding the close side goal! And Kiwi could be kicking themselves for that kind of mistake because 100 Thieves are not the kind of team to let this one slip. Right round the side, the classic right click to do it. Asuna. He finalizes it, he finishes it, and that's going to be them saved in this series, bringing it to map 3.
I cannot believe the grit and determination of this 100 Thieves team, but I also can't believe they're getting pushed like this. Everybody who looked at their bracket would have said 100 Thieves should be kind of strolling through. They've already beaten Foot in the offseason. The quality of what they've done before has been pretty superior. But here at Lock-In, when everything matters, these underdog teams are stepping up.
Absolutely.
EDG pushed them to the absolute limit, and now Foot are doing the same.
More evidence that anything can happen here at Lock-In. There's always a chance for a potential upset, but we will be heading to that map number 3, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
We gon' get it done. We gon' get it done. We gon' get it done. We gon' get it done.
Enemy remaining.
We gon' get it done. 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 gon' get it done.
Match found.
They will die, hopeless and afraid.
Fight!
Isolate them and kill them. Get out of my way. They're dead. Enemy down. Rain is gone.
10 kills remaining.
Breach killed.
Five kills remaining. One kill remaining.
Map. Pro being able to play that Jet. This time he's playing the Omen. Harder to get the same impact, harder to shut him down to the same degree. And all eyes are going to be on this player for Foot.
It is so interesting, the fact that they're playing with the Sova Fade. looking to load utility in to try and push Kiwi onto the most aggressive spots possible.
Waves of that utility. Kiwi was pushed up there, top side of 410. One bit being broken, but now with jump peak. Oh my goodness, Cry almost hitting a flick there to claim that kill. Players falling very low now, 1 HP and 2 HP at a captain respectively. See what they can do now. It was a heal offloaded. And Mr. Fallen moving forward, still 100 Thieves. They're so clean with this one, needs to be that response. It's down to that 2v2. An upgrade found, wall gonna be falling. Sage wall is causing a couple of issues. Bang, rotating it around. Molch out in the open, and he just can't land the shots. Ooh, so wide, and maybe some signs of uncertainty here for Foot.
24 health remaining on the 100 Thieves players. A light breeze would have knocked them over. That's a really close one. But I think you're going to see a lot of this kind of style. Footballists looking to try and get extremely aggressive on their opening. And on the opposite side of things, 100 Thieves being happy to just have a couple of players on site and mostly control spots for retakes to come through.
That's been their game plan when they've been playing with this particular composition. Broke down in the pre-show today about how they were using it just so effectively.
I mean, 7 out of 8 rounds that they won on defense against EDG were retakes.
Right, which will tell you all you need to know. Very happy to give them control of the site.
Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, EDG planted something like 10 times. And of those 10 plants, 7 retake victories. That's a really good retake percentage.
Wiper wall laid down though. 𝐒𝐿𝐿 here for Foot. You can see how difficult it is. You try and play in those default spots, those default positions with the plant, and yeah, that util just comes crashing down onto you. Could be done with a Sheriff. Okay, Mr. Fallen. Noted. Still in the battle, still in the fight.
Yeah, and Bang just looking to run forwards and get one of those confidence kills. And instead, now Mr. Fallen, an opportunity to maybe clutch. He has a lot of time to work with. He would have to find one of these players isolated and land a nasty shot.
Needs that gap, doesn't he? 34 health.
If he had the spike, one of these 100 Thieves players might feel like they had to go to B.
Right now, a bit of uncertainty in terms of what angles to watch for, but as he tries to take the fight, it is shut down. So, an expensive anti-eco round for 100 Thieves, losing 3 of their players, but a round on the board.
Yeah, it's going to make this bonus buy have very little bite behind it. I don't think it's the kind of occasion where 100 Thieves want to be forcing.
We shall see.
I'm really interested to see how this footballist comp works on the defense side when they don't have any informational equipment to use for the middle of the map. You know, no turret, no alarm bot, that kind of thing. So that's a long way off. For now, seems hard for Cryo to hold these kind of spots against the Prowler and the drone.
There was no follow-up there with the drone. Just using it to put a bit of fear into the 100 Thieves setup. They still have 3 players. At least locked down and anchoring towards that side. His dart's going to do quite a bit, but a drone and a push. Looks like Ashton wanted to try and take some space off of it. He's going to use it to cross.
Yeah, the recon dart and a wall going up is supposed to sell that this was a fake towards B, but 100 Thieves had players there. They had re-pushed B main, so they know that this is ending A. Question is the weaponry good enough for 100 Thieves to actually do anything here?
The walls of smokes. Recon being held now by Derek. The wall goes up, plant's going to try and go off there. One's really stopping that one, but it looks like they don't have a lot of utility to push him back. This flank now, double play. It's going to be really important. Moji wins it. Does he anticipate there to be a second player? He does not. And Derek's still doing tremendous amounts of damage. Left into that 2v3 though. Gun's not too good, and that's a lovely decision to make in the moment. Foot with a double face, a double re-clear. Angle watch for, just can't quite nail the shot there. Still stellar. He's got the entire world against him right now with the way it feels, and yeah.
And a great setup actually from Foot at the end there. Once more, if you allow their players to get set up, they look very potent in the post plan. I think that's going to be the story of the rest of this half. Now that we have rifles on the board for both teams, I could see this just becoming an A-site simulator and it just being post-plant versus retake. I think Foot will explore the rest of the map for sure to apply a bit of pressure and see if they can find openings. But their composition seems to lean more heavily towards A.
The horn clears quite a bit there, so alongside the drone, just one after the other. It's enough being used. Still, look at this by 100 Thieves on the other side of the map. I mean, perfectly willing to let Stellar leave him to his own devices over towards B, but this is a quad push now.
They just missed each other.
Oh my goodness, Asuna!
Oh, that is really unfortunate. It could have gone in either direction because it looked like 100 Thieves had almost missed the timing. But both of those Foot players hit the ground.
And it's all based on timing is what it feels like. Cracks just not watching the angle. Even the call wasn't made, but just didn't anticipate that Stella could be there. And Mr. Fallen, an attempt was made there. All that util being used to clear him out. He's got the crossfire, he's got the heal, but he needs to take a fight, and there'll just be two players matching him. Ball down to Ada Captain, slow at his feet, can't isolate the fight in time. And one of the things that we've been singing the praises for this 100 Thieves squad has been how clean they are. No gaps in terms of the spacing. Never really a moment of weakness, it feels like, when it gets into those situations.
But that's also a really interesting round. 100 Thieves going for such an aggro push over towards A. And that isn't something that we've seen from them. On, you know, Haven, they didn't play crazy aggressive, pushing out on defense very often. And I don't feel like I saw that too much in their game against EDG either. I put a lot of focus onto Asuna and the agent that he picked over on Haven, but at some point, about 2/3 of the way through that map, I said he needed to step up and actually showcase the value of the KO, and I think he did that wonderfully, and he's come in here with the same kind of energy. Going crazy in that round on Sage.
Already building up to that res. Deep pit going to be used. This is really hard to get through.
Strange round to use it though, no? Against Foot's economy? Maybe anticipating a force or something?
That does seem a little bit odd, but dart used close, holding the edge of it. Spray down, was hoping that one of the players would be weak and a stray bullet would find it, but instead it's 𝐒𝐒𝐄.
And Bang evacuates his ult. He allows that to fall, so just trading a single Viper ult for 1 kill in the anti-eco.
Isn't entirely too useful.
But it does mean that Bang retains his life and doesn't have to overfight it.
His timing's a little bit odd. Horn there pushing forwards.
I like this, pushing past your Viper wall with the utility.
So 𝐒𝐒𝐄 holds close. He's hoping to throw in something a little bit more quirky, and there you go. Bang found. No more Viper for this retake. Updraft play. He was spotted for about a moment, but chooses to just back away and play with the rest of his team now.
And the way that Bang took that fight shows me that 100 Thieves were not ready for 𝐒𝐒𝐄 to be that far forwards. They didn't group up. They didn't have the second player ready to trade. Bang was just walking in.
So here's that res. Paranoia is not available to them. Watching that one angle still. Up top, good movement from Stella. He offsets that. 𝐒𝐒𝐄 just could not adjust, and with that oh, what a Sage wall down. Yeah, not a chance in hell of them winning that one. They just don't have the guns for it.
Those final few kills from Ada Captain are going to keep 100 Thieves' economy in check, but they're still obviously going to be able to buy this round. It was somewhat expensive though. Bang using his ultimate. Asuna using his. But it's given them some interesting info.
Obviously expensive
Thieves now have to play with this. We got to worry about 𝐒𝐒𝐄. You know, 𝐒𝐒𝐄 was kept under control a little bit by Cryo having a ton of impact on the defense side. But 𝐒𝐒𝐄 is going to be unleashed here with all of this extra Sova and Fade utility. And clearly, 𝐒𝐒𝐄 wants to push and wants to go very hard.
From Derek, that was a deep dart, I believe. Gets a tag at least. Can't quite land the second or third shot though. He did a bit of damage to Moj.
The distraction, Asuna's used his wall, so he doesn't have that for the retake, using it to block off B. 𝐒𝐒𝐄, unfortunately, with no updrafts, isn't going to be able to abuse that. Otherwise, might have had a great lurk timing.
This drone is quite nice. They anticipated as players pushed up here towards A, so they get that info now. And Stella's holding this lockdown. As Valorant does have an ult for it, we'll be able to offset it, but swinging through the back of the side, 𝐒𝐒𝐄 just was not set up to succeed.
I mean, it's a great flick as well from Cryo. I'm not sure he had the best angle in the world, but He's a dangerous, dangerous operator.
And they don't intend to use this Hunter's Fury. They just put into lockdown, go off here. There's still plenty of time in the round for them to make a play, but it is getting whistled down, approaching that 30-second mark.
Cryo is very pushed up here.
And here we go. Hunter's Fury actually being used to try and initiate into this. Snake bite close. Corner. It's a half clearance. They're not ready for it. Stella does. Only grab the one, though. The trade was good. Now the plant has to go down without too many problems. Still, Night 4 online as well. Do they want to use it? The answer is yes. Foot now pushing forwards and just gets them low enough to decay damage, setting them up for some easy kills. One shot to the body will do it. And even on that ramp as well, Mr. Fallen, great job getting that kill. Left down to Asuna, re-swing. Oh my goodness, across their placement. Now, down to that 1v1. You cannot be affording 100 Thieves these opportunities. Across the ropes, this guy, the movement, Asuna made a name for himself, being able to weave his way and dodge, but time is running so low, and it's his biggest enemy. Got to tap the spike! That is absurd!
And the king of Icebox makes his return. The movement around the ropes, the way he weaves on this map, it's something else, Brent. He looks unbelievable. What is that from Asuna?
Just sublime.
And I was all ready to praise Foot because the post-plant aggression worked well for them. They set up a 2v1.
But they handed Asuna those easy kills, one at a time.
I mean, easy for him, maybe. I don't see many other players in the tournament getting those. Good God.
He's the kind of player where you can't give him those chances.
And that Sage Wall you've just seen throw down. So they do that a couple of times without Cryo being on top of it. And then one time in the half, they'll put Cryo on top of the wall. So at the moment, it's just a bluff, and it also allowed Stella to load all of his utility on the A site. It's a cool idea. We saw them run it against EDG, and in the one-time Cryo teleported on top of the wall, he got destroyed. But for now, it just allows Stella, to focus much more heavily on stopping this eco play towards A.
Yeah. They do have good util. You can see it. There's a slow orb. It was being layered prior to the nano swarms and the shock darts now being used. So it's not being made easy for Foot. Horn taken out. Still a dart behind them. There's a Viper's Pit. Looks like they want to try and invest into this round. It's going to take everything. Revealed right below. Stella's trying to bring it to him with the shorty in his hands. That's quick work. Turns Mr. Fallen into mincemeat, and the Viper's Pit still up for now, but up top still needs to find these kills. Cracks, okay. That's not bad at all. Still got to deal with a Viper. Mosh picks up the rifle, an upgrade, but just waiting towards him. Derek looking like a crab out the water.
And that's unfortunate too from Moch, because he picked up the Vandal that only had a single bullet in it. I was wondering maybe there was a chance there. Both teams committing their Viper's Pits into situations where they're either so favored maybe it's not necessary, or a bit of an optimistic one, I think, from Mosh, but they had chances to win that round. Yeah. I love the shorty usage we're seeing at this tournament.
But it's getting to the point now in this series. But have got to be feeling like they've just squandered a prime opportunity to knock out one of the heavy hitter teams.
Yeah, we heard it from Yinsu. Their IGL, Mr. Fallen, he's aware of the weaknesses that this team has. They ride momentum, they want to apply a lot of pressure, dry swing you, take the fights. But when they are hit, normally it leads to a knockout.
Struggle to get back into the fight, into the action. You're seeing it here. A round differential, 5 rounds standing between them, and it seems like 100 Thieves showing no signs of slowing down.
I do think, though, that Footballists have still been playing quite well, considering the score. Their post-plant players not been bad. They had chances to win the prior round, where Asuna clutched the 2v1. But they just haven't quite found the necessary step to push themselves over the line and start getting rounds on the board.
Yeah, it's been so close in many of these instances.
All of the gun rounds, though, as far as I can remember, have ended on A.
Yeah.
And look at those retakes. 5 out of 6 of the rounds that 100
Oh, they're
Thieves
going
have
for
won.
it. Cryo's going to TP on top of this with a recon dart.
Yeah, here it goes.
Yeah, so the wall gets set up here in Tube.
So the very prior round, they used it as a fake.
Cryo's
Will
the player to
Footballists be
watch.
ready?
Wall goes up. TP on top. They are watching for it! That is absurd!
God, I mean, I'm not sure whether you should give credit to the strat there. That is just a bonkers shot from Cryo.
But we're ready for it. They were watching it. But how do you match Cryo when he's in form like this?
Heated up off the back of Haven, hasn't he?
Yeah, that flick was just unholy. And the wall now, res being expended over the top. Another punish. Oh, and a captain. Try to hold it down here. Nanoswarm's going to be broken at least. And Foot, they're trying to take space. They're trying to push up here, but just revealing himself about a moment. The rifle spam is enough to take it down. It's down to 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒.
And if anyone can match what Cryo's been doing in this round, it has been 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 previously.
Yep.
Moj applying some pressure too.
Yeah, this is throwing chaos into the round, and it can be where Foot can maybe grasp it, but the reload's hurt, I think, in tube there, so they anticipate a push into kitchen. Plan starting to go down. Cryo, it's not man. He's just pushing right into them, and he's punished. Pre-fire flick, Moj with the lurk. I thought they were aware of it, but they're not.
I think with Stellar falling, they forgot that the turret wasn't active anymore.
He's lucky he didn't cross into that sight line, that one angle, but this round was just an all but lost here for Foot.
It was 3v5.
They have turned it still. Derek has got something to say about it. This guy's made a name for himself at prior events for being quite nice in the clutch. Snake bites in the back, force the position, headshots found, and the Viper's Pit's online. Stand to this, 1v1. Time running low, Horn's not being broken, but it doesn't even reveal him. Sees as well, gets off at half. It needs to be stuck, bang, all the way, and he doesn't get it. Cracks, snatches it back away when it was just looking done.
What an incredible 3v5 from Futbolist. Finding those opportunities, Moj in mid, doing a ton of work, finding a backstab and undoing all of this great shooting that Cryo had manufactured, the man advantage meaning absolutely nothing. It's not got quite the same pressure on it as the 2v5 that they lost to EDG, but 100 Thieves are still letting opportunities slip. More aggression though. Asuna taking tons of damage from the shock dart.
It's a lovely little bit of set utility from Foot that punishes that aggressive play for the orbs. They know that Stella's one away from the altar. Pay off, but what can Derek do here?
101.
Side with a Marshall, one stray shot. Mr. Fallen has to drop down.
And hit any? Not to 49 each.
And the operator put back in the hands of 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒. Which makes a lot more sense to me.
Drone for drone. Tags on either side here. It's worth noting as well that buy for 100 Thieves is a bit all over the place. Still opting to buy for next, but they do have some danger behind it, some bite in terms of the weapons they've got.
Moj went for this play before, a backstab into mid, and then lurked up kitchen as the turret got deactivated when Stella died. Now though, the turret gonna spot this out. What's the reaction from 100 Thieves? Stella was going to rotate A, and now he's drawn back to the middle of the map.
He's left to contain this.
But actually, this has made them more worried about the rotate.
Watch for. More pop down, gives us some info, bang! The minerals on him to just hold that angle. Only gets the one though, eventually traded out still. Stinger favorable there. Plant's gonna go down, Moj now being swarmed, surrounded on every side, still gets the one kill, make it two! Doing the most. And hops right up, makes it easy. Cryo left alone here, no bullets in the clip of the weapon he just picked up, so must-win round for Foot with the amount that they invested into this one, but looking like signs of life from them.
Absolutely. Coming off the timeout. Working quite nicely. I think round 8 is just not exactly, I don't think it went to plan, let's put it like that. But it was still Foot coming out with something wonderful to set their momentum back on course. And now I think the ult status starts to really come into effect. Stella's got a lockdown, but Mr. Fallen one away from an ult to counter it. And Moj, if he gets plant or if he gets orb, is going to make the retake extremely difficult for 100 Thieves.
That early presence shown.
And Cryo's looking for a peek in mid, actually, with the operator. Foot might give him a moment, just on a passive angle to start. But
watching it. There's no
starting
way he
to
pushes
creep
this.
down.
You just can't be favored. You got to know that somebody's pushing it, but
Well, he knows that Moj has been playing in this area the last couple of rounds, so he's hoping to catch the Viper.
still takes the peek. I mean, this is so risky from him. Wider angle found. And now, starting to see Util flying forwards. Oh my god, the exchange of bullets.
And
Yep.
that's where you see Omen Up not really being favored. He had to take a break there from holding the angle to go and throw a smoke for his players on A. And when he got back onto it, Moj was repositioned.
Did not land that shot, but only the wallbang damage. Now to Util, look at this, sees, latches onto it, and with the snake bite. Derek somehow getting one there. Might just be good enough though. Reveals over the top. That is Asuna, just a bit of running gun off the side. No, still. Helmet him out. Down to that 2v2. Still, Viper's pick committed. So Plant is going to be going down without too many difficulties. Asuna now biding his time.
Does Bang get a free one on the flank?
Yeah. And this is a bit of a distraction, I think. Pumping the bullets in so that Bang can get a bit of freedom now as he's trying to meet up with his teammate. Linking back around, there's a deep push, and Mr. Fallen's been spotted. Just down to the Viper, the spam, 20 health. Brought down so low, and he just doesn't know where to look. 180 after another. Too many angles to watch for.
And while it feels like the Viper's pitch should give Foot a massive advantage in the post plant, they just ended up being scared and confused. 100 Thieves controlled every part of the map around them, and it led to some key mistakes. Completely lost track of where Bang and Asuna were. Both of those players going crazy so far on Icebox.
That impact is being felt. As you see that round differential once more. It's 4 that stands between them. It looked like Foot were maybe getting themselves back into this, but these final 2 rounds are going to be where it really matters. The money is not too good. Still, they have that Blade Storm. Kiwi's going to have to play it to open it up, I think, for them. 100 Thieves also answering this. What are their players now? TP away. That's Hunter's Fury. Derek. Spot is a lot of these players skipping a hop, rotating around, but
a lot of damage.
Yeah, that is a ton of damage. But Foot have cut noise now. And when is their time to strike? Shot Dart's going to be revealing that they are still loitering this area. Another one used to clear that alarm bot close. Danger for Cryo. Has to smoke. Gets him away from that angle. The one-way though. Surely you don't take this, but he's got the confidence. Starburst across to the side, and he does contain.
That's absurd.
Straight down with the Phantoms.
What a shutdown. And that was over in a flash. Foot never stood a chance. Cryo with the most important kill of the round. I don't know how he hits that on a jet, dashing through.
This feels like he should never be favored, but he comes out on top, just that kind of player.
Takes a special opper to be able to make the Omen Op work on this map, I think.
Yeah. Don't try it in your ranked games, please.
Moj put in an awful spot here. And take a glance at the economy on the rest of Foot. It is not looking pretty.
Yeah.
They've been somewhat dangerous in ecos, but most of the time, 100 Thieves have controlled it.
10 seconds left.
Derek's just going hunting, hopping around with the judge.
Yeah, they want this rifle.
Moj is miles away.
I don't know what Derek will be able to do on the long sidelines, but
We're going to be going into the 12th here, though. And like you said earlier, Brent, I think Foot are going to be very frustrated at the half. No matter which way, whether they win this next round or not, they're still not in a great position to win the series. After on Haven, they had their chances.
and this is the signs
Oh,
of
that's so good.
where you get really tested as a competitor is being able to ignore the past. Focus on one round at a time, the next map only, but it's one thing to say that and another thing to do.
What can you do with 3 Spectres and a Stinger? I think overwhelming the A site, definitely a possibility.
One option, but a slow orb is going to be stopping any pace towards Belt, and it wasn't quite the idea here for Foot.
There's going to be a bit of a fake play here. They're pushing Cryo off the angle, and look at how that draws the rotate. 100 Thieves leaving the A site completely.
Back
Worried
all
about
the way.
mid, for example. And that's partly because the Recon Dart saw nothing on A. Just, they haven't seen a sniff of Footballist. And that's given Foot the opening.
Yeah, this is a really important timing. Right now, it's up to Foot to try and capitalize because 100 Thieves, the longer they wait now, the more the players are going to start to reinforce this area. anchoring it with their presence. And Asuna just aiming a little bit too high there. Horn has to be broken. Updraft over the top. 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 moves its way forwards. Head revealed. Prowler in his face as well, but that's going to be a dart to push them back. Now a snake bite.
The reflank in mid is so good here from Moj.
And Moj.
I think it's going to win them the round.
Yep, the value to be found, and he does claim that kill.
That means no paranoia, no smokes for the retake. That's part of why they're running Cryo and Omen.
Left into this one. 100 Thieves are scrambling, yet still, when the pressure's mounting, these players look like diamonds. And Bang's left to it. 1v2. Players are potentially weak. And Foot just have to double up and find the kill, and that they will. Bang not afforded the same openings that his team has been in the past. So an 8-4 half will be what we see in this final map here of this absolutely unreal Stellar series. Just outstanding from what we've seen in this first half as well, but it's going to do it for now. Throw it down to the desk to break it all down and set us up for that second half.
Thank you very much, Josh and Bren. Mimi, it's great to see how 100 Thieves recovered after the second map and continue to pull ahead with the momentum.
Yeah, and similar to their Icebox game against EDG, they've continued to look absolutely excellent in these retakes here, and their game plan with this Omen has continued to work. I wanted to take a look back at one of these rounds, round number 5 from our first half of play here, and this is where you see some of the idea behind this double scout comp that Foot is running. You have a Haunt to go deep, 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 contacts up and makes a play past the Viper wall, and it initially works out really well. Bang is caught off guard, but the thing is, 100 Thieves is so comfortable in playing these retakes that it doesn't really matter. You see them pop up that Sage wall, a great paranoia comes out from Cryo, and the whole team swings together, holds Foot back, and utterly locks them into main. Footballers really struggled in that half to find a solution to these 100 Thieves retakes, which leaves them in a pretty tough spot at this half.
No, it really does. I mean, great stuff. I mean, but also good from Footballs to see that they are still fighting back. Yes, the scoreline is not fantastic for them. It's the worst one that we've seen so far in the series for them with that 4-8 scoreline at the moment. But we saw them be able to rebound, pick up a couple of extra rounds, especially that one right there at the very end with Maj going on that deep lurk. It's been some really good stuff, and I love to see that they're still fighting back despite what you said, you know, what Mr. Fallen said, saying we lose a map, we're going to bow out of this. Now we're going to take a look, though, at Cracks and Mr. Fallen as we get ready to go for these guys on the defending side.
Yeah, they're both playing on this double scout comp, playing the Sova, playing the Fade, and my question is really, what are they going to be cooking up to make something work in this second half? Because normally, when you play a Fade, you'd expect to raise with it, you'd expect to shut down the plan. Is it just play heavy retake? Is it about setting 𝐒𝐒𝐄𝐒 up? These are the questions for me. It
feels like you got to be getting that information early, get a good read on where 100 Thieves is trying to go, and then get those rotations, get those lurks through to be able to punish them. So they get their way into the site. You don't have something like that Killjoy to be able to really flush them out with relative ease. But everything right now is riding on this next half for the side of Footballs. They have a deficit to try to claw back if they want to stay in this tournament.
Well, 100 Thieves, they managed to fend off one team that nearly upset them. I don't know if they can do it this time, but Josh and Bren, they have to if they want to stay in this tournament.
It was looking more favorable for them as we head into that second half because of the round deficit. And yeah, 100 Thieves, the only remaining NA team at lock-in. But so far, they've stepped up to this challenge when they've been pushed to tooth and nail in terms of these rounds.
This pistol, it's a must-win for a footballist, in my opinion. Their comp doesn't look crazy defense-sided by any means. And they also need to keep that mental resilience that Yinsu was talking about, that Mr. Fallen has talked about previously too. It's a bit of a weakness on their team. Keep focused. There might still be chances to beat 100 Thieves yet.
But it starts here. The Paranoia is going to be pushing out a captain away. The wall's going to be used in response to this one, just to at least remove one of the options available to 100 Thieves when they're trying to scale through. Knife being used, just trying to break this one as well. So far, a bit of an odd wall by Asuna. Not too sure what the purpose of that one is, but it does at least cut off that one side angle. Still going to watch up top.
I think this is going to block a lot of the shock molly combos as well, actually.
Yeah. But with this, the spike is planted, tucked around this corner. I think it's going to be critical for 100 Thieves to try and play close here in this post plant. Can't give up too much space. It seems they've realized that at least. They've got a doubled up setup. The players at Foot are starting to swarm into the side. First kill found, though. An immediate trade. Not trade, but an answer nevertheless. Still, slow ups now, pushing them back. This is where Could get tricky up close, and my goodness, just like that, the round crumbles away beneath 100 Thieves, unable to withstand that kind of onslaught and pressure.
It's a nice idea for the pistol round. I could see what they were going for with the wall, but I just don't think 100 Thieves' post-plan positions had accounted for the fact that they had changed the territory on the map. It didn't look like they were set up to help each other in the same way that we would normally expect from the team, and they got overwhelmed by the Foot players, swarming back into the site. Big pistol round, important one, a must-win, and 100 Thieves are going to try and rip it back away from them immediately with a force.
This is a reinvestment, and it could backfire for 100 Thieves.
Definitely. If they don't win this, Foot are essentially tied up just based on the economy.
Yeah, they'll be able to get back into this one. At least in theory. Now the drone clears forwards there. A lot of util being used, and it is a fast play. That's the aim of it. But are doing a good job at their util, just making sure that they can try and slow them down. The Viper wall will eventually fall. And now you can see some of the benefits here of the Omen once more. They smoke mid. It's going to throw some of that misinformation into the middle of the round, forces the drone out of Mr. Fallen because not really too aware of what's happening.
But there isn't a ton of misinformation because Ada Captain has already locked off B. So they're pretty confident that 100 Thieves are not going for the full retake. Sorry, the full rotate. So that means that Foot can keep 3 players over here. However, with the drone seeing nothing, and now the Haunt seeing nothing as well, maybe the defense starts to spread out a lot more. Especially with that wall going down.
Yeah, that's going to signify it, I think. Viper will back up in response. A couple of things off to the side. Looks like it's going to be that double re-push trying to take the fight. Close to them, cracks. Great play from him. Spectre, a bit of run and gun, but the spike did still go down. Kills to be found, and Asta will get the one in as well. Cryo watching his back. Great swing timing. Foot left in dire circumstances. It's a 2v3. Still winnable. Moving forward, slow orb is so good, and they're just lined up. Mr. Fallen, great answer. Shot found and missed there for Derek. Doesn't collect it. Now to defuse. Shock dart misses. Needs to be held all the way through, sticking it through, and there is nothing to push it back.
Yeah, Asuna Cryo did everything that they could there, but the slow orb was destructive to their positioning. Perhaps should have been a bit proactive and tried to find another spot to play in, but that is going to hurt 100 Thieves terribly. They're now knocked back down to a full eco. Foot start to get their economy rolling. They can afford operators. They're going to start to get their ults online. A big momentum spiral that 100 Thieves have potentially opted into here.
They could haunt them. Oh, Derek, out in the open there.
Oh, and he has to cancel the drone just in case there was somebody to punish. And from football, there was no one there.
Yeah, no one would have punished that, but got to play with caution.
I'd like to see 100 Thieves explore towards the middle of the map a lot more.
Sure.
It's early days in their attack half, but without a killjoy on the other side, you've got to try and find those openings in the map.
It feels like it should just be much more open. Wall placed down, they made a mistake. They have to break a portion of it, yep.
We saw Asuna actually with a couple of bad walls against EDG as well that cost his team 2 pivotal rounds.
And no fuel in the tank for the Viper. Wall still moving forwards, Cryo. Play to be made. He taking the space in his own smoke as well, and they are just ever so slightly crawling and taking away that control of Orange still. 𝐒𝐒's there with the operator angle.
Where's the spike
Still
going?
being held. Spike is just in the middle of nowhere right now. And calls are being made for 100 Thieves to try and react and try and adapt to what's being thrown at them, but they're just coming up short.
30 seconds left.
Honestly, it's not even that bad because this round doesn't mean too much, but it's still sloppy and doesn't inspire confidence. Nevertheless, what are these kills?
Sheriff's found! Bang! Has just made this so much more dangerous. And the labored shots here, cracks down to 11 health. Spike in his hands, the plant needs to go off.
A lot of utility
Bang
still.
just taps it. Base to re-swing, waiting. It's a patient play. Snakebite on the one side to give him a bit of an opening, but he's got to anticipate this. And cracks, he needs to land a shot, waits for it. Spike goes down, the swing and the swing. Bang, just so unfortunate there, looking away at just the wrong moment.
11 health. Cracks being able to pull that one through. It should never have got that close from Foot. It should never have been close to a lost round, this one. Some great shots being hit, though, from the 100 Thieves players.
Yeah, just from seemingly nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, 100 Thieves had a pretty awful beginning to this round. A bad ball. Cryo was forced to make a play, but it's these couple of kills here as Stellar and Bang decide to fight in the same area that Cryo and Asuna had decided to fight earlier on. I think the overall idea of pushing more on your attack is good, but Foot need to be ready for that.
So here we are, round 16. The economy reset for both of these teams, but they do have the guns in their hands.
Look how open mid and B are.
Yeah, there's just no presence there. Not even at the beginning of the round.
I think there's some great opportunity for the 100 Thieves players, be it Bang or be it Stellar, to work Tube a bit, especially off the back of some distraction from the rest of the team on the outsides of the map.
Oh, this is good. Drone didn't see Bang. He's taking a timing off of this one. It's still aware. What is that?
Just walking through the smoke.
The Tracer's almost revealing it. They almost set him up for the 1-2 combo.
That's absurd.
If he managed to nail that shot, I don't know what to think.
I mean, I said work the middle of the map, but if Mosh is watching that, it's hard for Bang to win the duel. Bang, though, one away from getting his ult online. Interesting Omen ult. That clears out yellow, so they can save some of their utility.
All in the way, though. Got to chew through this one, and with 40 seconds remaining, but have no issues whatsoever. We're stacking a lot of their players. That
Hunter's Fury.
Though. Yep, Hunter's Fury. Wall's going to be broken immediately for this one. The players are so low, and Hunter's Fury, where is it? The damage done. Cryo will fall. Spike's still down, though, and they do have that pit. Rez now online. Cryo back in the fight. Is there going to be any spam to this? Is there going to be any punish? Derek, he was at a slide-off angle. And control of this side of the area is going to be so important now to Nano Swarms. Layers to it. He's going to be applying that time pressure. Going to need a miracle. Beaming through all the way and just pre-firing the corners. The angles watched for.
And Mr. Fallen runs away with his tail tucked between his legs. Big mistake from him in this round, missing that Hunter's Fury onto the plant. Asuna got a free one. And that allows 100 Thieves to get set up into a much more stable position. He's going to get the gun taken away as well. And 100 Thieves are now pretty firmly in control of this.
Yeah, that was such an important one. Like we said at prior, look at the money right now. Look at this situation. Would have done well to fight back in this half. There was openings afforded to them by the way that 100 Thieves decided to play that macro game, but a steady lead now for 100 Thieves, and they have that advantage when it comes to that economy.
A site completely open now as Foot gambling the opposite direction.
Running all the way down! Cryo's holding that angle alone. Listen, when you're being swarmed by that many players, you give up a rifle.
Whoa, this is dangerous now.
Dash to the side, Bladestorm as well! 𝐒𝐄𝐒! An absolute magical moment! And that precision has just sailed them through. A thrifty round for Foot from seemingly nowhere, but 100 Thieves. Where was the plan to contain?
I mean, that's amazing from Foot. The overwhelm of Cryo instantly, and then the push off the back of the drone tag. When the drone tags there onto Bang, the response is instant.
No hesitation.
𝐒𝐒 dashes out, he has Bladestorm. One of the other players on his team picks up the rifle from Cryo's dead body. And it flips the momentum immediately. So many moments where this has happened in the series so far. A clutch, a thrifty, and the normal flow of the game's turned on its head.
Absolutely. 100 Thieves getting tested in every single part of their play. And Foot rising to the challenge.
Right here.
For a team like this as well, turning up at the big stage. It's 8-4 at the half. It can be hard to shake off the previous map performance. It's hard to forget that, knowing how close you were to knocking out 100 Thieves in just 2, but okay.
I mean, that's a great signal for Bang, isn't it? They have no idea he's here. They've walled him in.
Locked in all the way. Jump peek though. Mosh ready. Discipline flick though. How do you prepare for that? Ada Kaplan looking for that reclear as well to the bottom of tube. This plan, though, is going to go down without too many problems, and Bang has really started to deliver a couple of issues. Crosshair placement down onto the ground, yet still he adjusts, but there is that double face. The trade is there. Anna Kaplan now doesn't have to worry about too much. With the res online, 𝐒𝐒 back into it, and it is that 4v4.
Bang has bought them so much time, and Asuna went for a mid-weave flank. And
Wall in the way, he's just revealed his position completely. I mean, they wanted to go for the extra level of it, but Derek off to the side. Guardian just tap from the gun, finding two of the heads. Still 2v2, wider swing, and Stella lanes reigns supreme.
Awesome double face at the end there. Real confidence from Cryo and Stella. I don't know what was going on in mid there on the reflank, but I guess it caused enough of a distraction for the other post-plant players to find their kills. I think Derek's worked wonders there, though, with the Guardian finding two. These kills shuts down 𝐒𝐒 and finds a second out of it. How's he managed that?
Salvaged it.
I mean, the player that has just been incredible this whole time on Icebox, though, for 100 Thieves is Bang. Yeah. It doesn't matter whether it's been on the defense side or now the attack side. He's worked his way into positions to take fights and just been dumpstering the foot players.
Yeah, I mean, it's been real prowess being showcased. I mean, the guy is, like we said, working his way into mid most of the time. He's sitting at 21 and 13 currently.
Yeah.
And he kills to death.
He got a fair few of those on the defense side too, with Asuna just playing fantastically. But on attack, he's there when his team needs him to trade, and he's there to open up space too. And it's, I mean, you pointed it out actually when we were watching him. It's not that his crosshair placement is actually that great, but he still wins the duel. His flicks, his accuracy, superb. And the pressure's back on foot. They take a timeout and are coming back into this round with a pit to work with and 𝐒𝐒 on the operator.
It feels like this entire series is just hinging on little plays, miracles almost as well, to keep either side into it with the thrifties. And the economy has just been honest the entire time.
Yeah, it has.
Hop over the top. Viper's pit drop down. That's an interesting one. Falls to the ground, but it does cover enough of the front section of A.
Yeah, just a classic Pac-Man ult.
Yep. The drone as well to reclear. That actually doesn't see anything. 100 Thieves avoided it.
Derek's still got his drone. Could use it to push 𝐒𝐒 off the op angle or to challenge this pit. I still think it would be a good idea to run a lot of 4-1 defaulting here and have a lurker go through mid, but all 5 players from 100 Thieves balled up, ready to trade out in the pit.
They are making so much noise. Smoke over the top, sets up Bang in that 4 position. This is still quite difficult.
But now they know there's 3 players here. They've heard a Prowler, a Dart, and obviously there's the pit in front of them. And here's the problem, if 100 Thieves had control anywhere else, they could pivot. But instead they're just moving together as a group. And that is going to slow the reactions down a lot.
Could prove incredibly troublesome for them. That wall is just interesting. There's a slight gap. They're using it to try and go mid to A around the Viper's pit.
Oh, this is bizarre.
Hunter's Fury as well. Sets us up to push through, and it's going to clear once more. The common angles, pushing forward. Spray down, not found. Bang. Use that extra element. Pushes forwards. Another wall to cut across, and it is pure pandemonium.
But they found out where Moj is.
And it's found. What? A strike. Stray bullet from Derek, finding it. Spike not going to be denied, but the position is known. Dash activated. 𝐒𝐒 finds the kill, dashes forwards, but he's got the most to do. Nana Swan pushes him forwards. Another smoke as well, down to 53 health, and has to save. Has to save. What a difficult decision.
Wow, and what a crazy round for Stella to call. I think that is bonkers. Partly, though, they're able to do that because of the Omen in the play. They have an extra smoke that they can use. It's really difficult to run a play like that with only a Viper. But even so, the Omen smoke doesn't actually cover enough. You can still get shot from Boiler or from Spawn, so massive risks being taken there for 100 Thieves to call a strat like that. But the timing just worked impeccably. And the fact that they had so many layers with it, you know, Derek ulting allows the players from screens to swing and get trade kills. Bang goes through the ult. I think, honestly, if Moj finds Bang when he's going through the ult, maybe we're looking at a different round anyway, but everything worked perfectly for 100 Thieves. And whereas I feel every map that 100 Thieves have played so far has been balanced on a knife's edge. They might have just turned this to the point where it's comfortable for them.
That one play. Cooking up all sorts. I mean, obviously, a little bit of RNG at play as well, Derek. Lucky to claim that one, but this is a timeout being used now by 100 Thieves. 11-8 as the scoreline.
And I think partly Mike's might have called this because the previous FUT eco round caught them so unaware. And maybe it's because he's identified some holes in how FUT are playing and feels like he's got valuable input to give. I think there's a number of things that 100 Thieves could do here, but it all starts with absorbing aggression early on. You've got to anticipate something happening. With the way that FUT have been playing the defense side, stacking 4A, pushing, stacking 4B, pushing, you kind of just have to hold and wait for that for the first 20 seconds. 𝐒𝐒, though, did save an operator rather than the Blade Storm, so maybe they're more worried about that aspect of it. Either way, 100 Thieves are 2 rounds away from getting to face the winner of Fnatic Furia, which is where everyone expected them to be, but the journey has been anything but expected.
It's been all over the place.
The journey has been so much more rugged than anyone could have predicted for this team, and that is full credit to EDG and now FUT.
Pushing teams to the limit. Those expectations. Now we'll see how they manifest in this round here for FUT, because it's that 3-round deficit. Drone, straight down mid, that saw quite a bit of the attacking side there of 100 Thieves. A couple of players being spotted out.
Yeah, not actually holding anybody to watch for a B push, but there's nobody there. It's only 𝐒𝐒 with his operator.
Yeah.
And that puts the pressure on everybody else on FUT to win the round, because 𝐒𝐒's going to be a long way from this hit.
Viper wall up now. Slow orbit to the back as well as that. Gonna see that dart. Gonna be a wall up, see that plant. Not gonna be anything to try and dissuade that one, of course. No rifles to try and break down the wall. But how do they hold this in the post plants? 100 Thieves have had difficulties with this when the Sage Orbs have been landing on the one side of 410. Dart over the top now, Asuna in trouble. Still, this team's gonna hold his back, breaking that utility. Now the alarm bot, that's gonna signal something. Pushing forwards, a high-risk play, but it pays off. Kill's still gonna be found for them. Wall gonna be blocking the side of this, and 100 Thieves looking so clean.
𝐒𝐒's got to escape.
Yep. Last player standing, he had the operator, but he does not get out alive. And 100 Thieves, they find themselves now to series point, to match point.
They should have been on the wrong end of one on Haven, but they managed to escape and avoid it. Now they find themselves in the controlling part. I mean, taking the operator out of the hands there at the end of 𝐒𝐒 means they don't have to worry about it at all. They can look at the economy. They know that FUT can't afford one. I think that just means 100 Thieves can be a little safer, or rather feel a bit safer heading into this round. 𝐒𝐒 is going to be the player challenging them here.
And he has to be the difference maker.
He's got no one to stop this.
Team's tournament life on the line of his shoulders, but he doesn't get a freebie. No easy kills offered. Just a dash to disengage, but does he want to try and take this fight? The confidence is still there. And as the smoke goes up, Bang takes the precise timing.
Bang now 1 away from his ultimate 2 if he decides to go for the plant. This looks all knotted up. A nice little bow on it. 100 Thieves firmly in control.
They just have to go through those routines. The wall up, preventing that util from denying the plant. Setting themselves up now in that 4v5. It's FUT that need a miracle. Omen for information. Not too sure where that one went, but now there's going to be smokes at play. And Cryo, he splits up the one side of the site. They're so worried about the flank because of the Omen ult. They're so worried about it. And time is running low. Haunt forwards. Press the advantage now. FUT have really just got to find anything at all. A hope, a dream, a miracle. But 100 Thieves pushed to the limits. And it's just far too clean.
Smiles on the faces of the 100 Thieves squad as they take down another opponent that gave them a good run for their money.
Absolutely.
But FUT just didn't quite have it there in that final map in the final half. A very valiant effort though. I've got to give credit to the EMEA side. They showed what they were worth, but 100 Thieves just seemed to have something about them that pulls them through in every tough moment. I'm still amazed that they dodged the match point on Haven, but I think that might have just been an opportunity squandered for Foot. They'll know it when they look back through the game that they had their chances to win here. And for a while it'll haunt them, but I hope it inspires some confidence too as they go back to EMEA. The off-season was so rough for this team, losing to non-partnership teams, etc. But what they've showed at Lock-In should bode fairly well.
Yeah, the potential is there. Just needs to be harnessed, but that is going to finalize the series. And 100 Thieves, they sail their way to that win in map number 3. There were many moments where it was looking more than close. And they are that final beacon, the shining light to represent North America at the Lock-In tournament here in Sao Paulo.
And they are going to have their work cut out for them. Everyone was looking at the bracket, expecting 100 Thieves to get to this spot, and just savoring the idea of them playing against Fnatic or possibly even Furia. We'll see that match coming up in a bit. And for 100 Thieves, it only gets more challenging as they move forwards. So far, they've been up to the task.
Over the series going the distance. Reveals quite a bit in terms of map pool, the strengths here and there, so it will be a hard task awaiting them, but at least they survive another day.
That's the key at Lock-In, isn't it? You've just got to keep surviving.
Yeah.
This 100 Thieves squad are full of survivors. The individual moments that we've seen from players. Bang, I mean, Asuna's movement in the clutch that he won in the 1v2, sublime there.
Unreal.
And then Cryo putting in work with his Omen operator on defense. The flick shots were just bonkers.
Just insane. It's one of the questions we posed at the beginning of this, you know, if Cryo isn't playing that Jet, how will he bring it to a player like 𝐒𝐄𝐒? How will they keep it in check? But some of their parts,
এই রাউন্ডটা সেরা ছিল, এই রাউন্ডটা সেরা ছিল।
100 Thieves squad, and yeah, they've been tested, but some part of that, they get tempered, come out on the other side.
15 to 20 seconds এ রাউন্ড বেরিয়ে গেছে।
We'll have to see, won't we? I mean, this squad is, like you said, the last hope of North America, and they've got high hopes for this tournament. So on the other side of things, NRG have a really close battle, and you're looking at the 100 Thieves fan there. Those water bottles, I swear, are full of sweat. They were empty when the game started. Everybody that's favouring 100 Thieves in this bracket has to have been sweating in the games that they've played so far. They've been awesome matches.
So your match MVP as well, have a direct impact and say into this one as well. If you scan that QR code, Cryo, Bang, Stellar, many players you could vote for, honestly.
It's Bang for me. I think it is. I mean, I think that Stellar also had some great moments, some great reads on the game, etc. But to me, Bang is just such a consistent factor for this team. I think he really stepped up when his team needed him today.
Absolutely. I mean, the guy just put up unbelievable numbers. A top frag for his team there on Icebox. But that's going to do it for our first series of the day. Narrow victory here for 100 Thieves. But don't go anywhere. On the other side of the break, we're going to be setting up that second series of the day. We'll see you in just a few.
ফিনাটিক আর ফিউরিয়াটাও নোংরা হবে। ফিনাটিক আর ফিউরিয়াটা আগে দিলে আমি দেখতে পারতাম, এখন আর কতক্ষণ আর দেখবো। যদি রিয়েল জিততো তাহলে না একটা চান্স ছিল, কোনো চান্স নেই। লিগ এমনি এরকম মাইসেজে হয়, মানে যারা টেবিল টপার থাকে না তাদের মাইসেজে এরকম চোখ হয় একটা ম্যাচ। আগের বারও মাদ্রিদ যখন ছিল হঠাৎ করে মাঝখানে একবার চোখ হয়েছিল, মানে অ্যাকচুয়ালি মোমেন্টাম ব্রেক হলো না আমাদের ম্যানচেস্টারের সঙ্গে, তো ওরকম চোখ হয়। ওটাতে আমি কিছু ভাবি না, ওরকম চোখ হয়। নেক্সট যতদূর সম্ভব 1:45 থেকে শুরু হবে, কি 2:10 এরকম। কখন এসেছিলাম দেখিও নি। আচ্ছা ওখানে গেছি।
Occupational hazards aside, I do love how much we travel.
Fight!
It's now or never.
থ্যাংক ইউ। সেটা এতদিন একসঙ্গে থাকলে হয় কখনো?
Alvida.
কবে একসঙ্গে আছেন বেশি মিশে?
Dominating.
Slow down, kid.
101 মার্শাল একমাত্র ভালো যদি তোর হেডে শর্ট হয়, না হলে যতক্ষণ রিসেট হবে না ততক্ষণ এটা এমন হেডে বললো না। বাঁদিকে সুইং করলো।
Ten kills remaining.
আরেকটা লাগবে। इसकी माँ का भरोसा ताज भी बांधा। উফ, ভাই শটটা খুব ভালো লেগেছে। ভাই যা স্প্রে করতে করতে দৌড়াচ্ছিল, এই কেন আরএনজি করলে খুব মাত্রা যায় গরম।
Five kills remaining.
Dog it down.
One kill remaining.
কি ভাই এখন চলছে নাকি?
Match found.
Recon Balison. এ ভাই এখন ম্যাচ হাইলাইটস দেখাবে কি রে ভাই?
you're not being shot at, you're doing something wrong.
Fight!
Take him.
কোনোদিন ওটিটা যায় না ভেরি হলো গেমগুলো অনেক স্ট্রেচড আউট হয়েছে তাই প্রথম সেকেন্ড গেমটা
Amateur. Weak.
না পপাই সুইং অন্য
Dead. Ah. Got you. 3 out. Hey door.
Ten kills remaining.
এই দুটোর সময় ছিল বা 2 ঘন্টার গ্যাপ থাকে একটা সকালে ওঠা হয়েছে কি নাকি
5 kills remaining.
Dusted.
One kill remaining.
নদিন